Your face will be the reason. I know I'm muted. Yup. What's goody? What's goody? Oh man, I was just making a bunch of noise. I was trying to get all my shit together, so I didn't have the mic on. We good now. What's good, y'all? Happy Thursday. Vivid, come on. What up, Crystal? How's everybody doing? Welcome. Welcome. We live, baby. When would they be the stay-at-home parent? At what age of the child? I don't know. Probably after like two or three, maybe. Early on, the mom got to be there for sure. But my back is still messed up, but I am off 800 mgs of that IB. I'm off 800 mgs of that IB. Profi. Popped a few Provies. Yep. Yep. Paradigm shift, it says. Men should be stay-at-home fathers. Yeah. Oh no. We not dropping the host. Absolutely not. Well, you can. It's just right there. It's 300 to drop the host. What up? What up, Jeff?
Not much. I just not much. I just had to get you to say something right quick. That's all. I wanted to piggyback off your 800s right quick. that's what happens. That's what happens when you get them 40s out. You feel me?
Man, I wasn't even lifting that, man. That's
what happens when you're in them 40s.
Oh, in the 40s, yeah. I didn't hit. I thought you said hitting the 40s like it's some weights. I wasn't even lifting and that. I fucking the age, yeah. I was bending over to clean up, and I wasn't even doing just a regular motion. It just felt like somebody came and shanked me. I was like, oh shit.
Here we in my 20s and them old men being like, one day you're gonna find out. And then
I found out.
To the ripe old age of I slept wrong and now I hurt.
Yeah, man. I sleep wrong all the time. I can't sleep right. That's how I feel at this point. I'm always sleeping wrong. Shit, this shit crazy. I was gently, it's I just got a bad back. I gotta go. I need a shot, and then I need to start stretching. Like I could barely, yeah. I'm like, it's getting worse and worse and worse. It's getting worse.
A little more mindful.
Yeah.
A little more demure.
Definitely got to be more mindful of my back. No doubt about it. Get a message that always helps. Yep. But yeah, man, I'm about to get up into this thing real quick. We about to
Oh yeah. I'm gonna turn my Bluetooth on. I'll be in the comments.
All right, bro. I see a lot of people already disgruntled. A lot of people disgruntled. Why y'all so mad at the men's need to be the stay-at-home fathers? They do. Men need to be the stay-at-home fathers. We do. We do. I'm sorry to tell y'all. Look, somebody said the grape and all of that stuff is gonna go up. Ma'am, if you are with the man and you think he is graping your kids and stuff like that, that's a whole different story. This is for people that are in semi-healthy relationships. No tea, no shade. Just yeah, no tea, no shade. This is for people that aren't in the wildest of situations, right? Like, you know, the most terrible situations. But yeah, so I think that, so I was thinking about this. I think about this often, right? Oh man. You must have a career. Who? So I have many things to say about this, right? So first and foremost, men would need to learn how to be better people. They would learn. I am convinced that men would learn how to be parents, right? Also, men would get a lot of support from the women. That is my number one. That's not the most important reason, but that's where it might be the number one reason. Because the women, if women go out and work, right, and men stay at home, when the women get home, the women will just start to contribute. That you won't have to ask the woman to contribute. You won't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like you won't have to have to fight with her to pay attention to you. Like I will guarantee you there will be way less of that if the man was a stay-at-home parent, first and foremost. Secondly, women are generally more educated than men are right now. It's just the reality, right? I think women are more, I won't say built, but you know, for lack of a better term, they're like built for higher education. You know, due to the way that women are independent a lot of times or most of the time. So I think that if men, like in, you know, however much time, few years or whatever, if you help your woman go to college and get it, because most of the men ain't going to get a higher education. Let's just be honest. Most of y'all not getting a higher education. The woman in your relationship probably can make more money than you if you supported her properly. That's the point that that's another big point that I want to drive home is, if you, instead of you being in your feelings and on your pride shit, if you really thought about it for a second, who has the greater earning potential in most relationships? I think it's women. I think if the men supported the women the way the women supported the men, I think the women would make more money than the men on average. Even with the sexism and all of that stuff. I really do. I do think the women would make more money. Staying at home is boring. Exactly. Thank you, V. So that's my other part. I think you can make more money as a couple if you supported your wife or your girlfriend or the mother of your child, whoever it is, the woman, your mate. If you supported her and helped her get her education, because I think that if most women could get they have the capacity to get a higher education. You support her, make sure she gets her higher education. I think that she can make more money. Also, that woman is less likely to lose that job due to underperformance, slacking off, inconsistency, things of that nature. I think you got a greater chance of that woman, you know what I'm saying, just being on the job more consistent, not having to worry about coming home and like, oh man, I got into an argument with my manager and all of that bullshit, like all that pride and ego shit. You ain't got to worry about that. So you got more job security. Also, if the woman is the breadwinner, less likelihood, vastly lower likelihood of financial abuse. Way lower chances that she's gonna go out there and cheat on the man than the man on the woman. I'm really not seeing the only negative is just the state. Okay, hold on. Let me fix my prompt real quick. Trying to make sure everybody can see it, but certain people's phones just don't be cooperating. If you know anything about ticky tack, they be playing with us on the screens. It ain't like the YouTube's format is solid as hell. All right. Okay. So yeah. Now, anybody that's arguing against this, saying that the men will be bad and all of that stuff, that's not the point. That's not the point that I'm trying to make. I know men are terrible at this. I know men compared to women, we would be trash at this, right? We would be, definitely. It's a thought exercise more than anything before y'all get to being like, oh, the men gonna be they. I know. Trust me, I know. I know better than y'all know. Because I'm that man. I know better than most people know. Trust me, I know. So you ain't gonna find me arguing against that. But I think the most important thing is I want everybody to start to just look at this differently, right? Mainly the men. I want men to look at this differently and realize that a lot of because men like to always talk about like how things are and not acknowledge the fact that the system has been set up in such a way that it favors men, right? And that it actively works against women. And we could change that, on an individual level. You know what I'm saying? Like we could work against that if we wanted to. That's why I said it's a paradigm shift. So, So, anyways, back to the point. I think that a lot of those things that you see men do in a relationship when they're the primary breadwinner, I think a lot of that will be alleviated if women were the breadwinners, right? And that's what, and I think at the end of the day, that's like one of the biggest, like that's like where I like kind of hang my hat on this is like, yeah, the men, like the cheating would be far less, the abuse would be non-existent, and the woman would contribute. You know, she would still come home and help out. It ain't like she gonna come home and ignore her duties. It ain't like she gonna come home and be like, oh, I've been at work all day, you got to cook and clean. Like, she's not gonna do all of that stuff. She's gonna be like, oh, you cooked, okay, let me clean up. Oh, let me help you clean up. Let me help with the kids. Let me, like, she just gonna get active. You're not going to need to tell her what to do, which will alleviate a lot of the arguments. Nobody will be getting nagged, right? There'll be no nagging going on or whatever, because you don't really got to tell the women what to do. They're gonna do it on their own. The men are already doing what they need to do because they got to do it, because what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? The women gonna have to teach us a lot in the beginning. But for the men that's willing to learn, I think this is the way. Y'all think I'm playing? I really do think this is, like, out of the two, if you got to choose, I'm for both people working. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying if you got to choose between somebody staying home and somebody going to work, I choose the woman going to work and the man staying at home. I do. I truly, the way that men and women are built right now, so, you know, based on how we're conditioned, I truly believe that that is our best option. That's it, right? In a perfect world, yes, we could argue that the men would be no, that yeah, I got you. Yep, it can be equal. Men, nobody should have to work. Like, I'm with all of that stuff. I'm not fighting against, like, in a nut, but just the way that men and women are conditioned now, then boom. I'm not financially supporting a grown man, though, honestly, not for me. But Destiny, do you realize that that's a contradiction? So do you think that staying at home is an easy job? Are you financially supporting them, or is it a team effort? Be careful. Be careful saying stuff like that. The boys gonna screenshot that. Just so you know. You got to be careful. Is it a full-time job like I thought, like I think it is, or is it not? Is it easy? Is it just, you know what I'm saying? Like, would you, like, which one is it? Because I'll be fighting tooth and nail for taking care of kids as a fucking full-time job. Penelope says she disagrees. Let's see. Let's see how this goes. Even more molested children. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. If that's what we're worried about, then, you know, we're kind of screwed either way. But thanks for the super chat. Go ahead, Penelope.
Yeah, I definitely disagree with this. I think you ever hear the song Girls as Players Too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's how I feel about this. Is the ladies, is dads too, make men wives again. Yes, they can be in the home, but the real thing is about the identity. If you identify as a mom, then you are already ready to believe that it is your duty to do the unpaid labor and then some. If your identity is as a wife, that will impact your beliefs around whether or not you can take on somebody's name and become the person who's made to do the unpaid labor. So I don't think it's about the staying at home, because anybody can stay at home. It's 2024. But if you identify as the mom, then you are then ready to change your beliefs about what it means to raise a kid. And so if I can, you know, be a lady and be a dad, that is totally fine with me. I'm totally prepared to be a dad, do fun stuff on the weekends, to identify and change my beliefs around what it means to raise kids. And if I'm, you know, I don't know if I would fully go as far as identifying as a husband. I would have to think about that. But the ladies need wives and husbands, and they need wives and mothers. It's not about just having somebody stay at home. That's my feeling.
I got you. So you think that women are conditioned to do the duties and of being a stay-at-home mother, and, you know, but if they do decide to be the fathers, as you put it, then they need a wife?
Yeah, I'm saying, like, as a young woman, I've been conditioned to want to be a wife and a mother. And in my mind, that is a job, that is an identity that has roles and rules and expectations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those would be different if I was raised to believe that I can also be a dad, which is also a role. It's not necessarily inherently gendered, just the same way stay at home is a role. It's not necessarily gendered. So if I can,
I think fathers are gendered.
well, I think they are now, and I think maybe that's part of the problem. It's like, you know how with other things, like if you identify as a Black person, that maybe changes what your beliefs are around race and therefore your actions. Like, I think things start with identity and then your beliefs about the identity change. Does that make sense?
You start with an identity and then your beliefs about the identity changes.
Yeah. So if I identify as middle management, then my belief around who gets to manage and what the role is and what the valor in that is, that changes. Like, I can change my belief, but if I change my identity first, then I can mold my beliefs around that identity. So if I believe, that moms should bear the brunt of
Child
raising
rearing.
kids, and moms are women, then that's going to shape how I treat women and what I expect of them. If I identify as a dad, that might shape how I see being a dad. Does that make sense? Like, it'll shape my beliefs based off of the identity, not based off of what people are telling me. Does that make sense?
Kinda. I see what point you're trying to make. I'm just saying that I don't think that, I think you could be a father, right? I mean, I think that there is no one role of a father, I guess, right? Fathers are just, fathers just mean you have a child. Like you know what I mean? Like all you have to do is you could be a stepfather, you could be an foster father, whatever. You could, but a father just means you're responsible for a kid or some children or whatever the case. That's all it means. How you fulfill that role is completely up to you, right? So you could change it. Yeah. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Let me hit up Women Are Gods. That's a wild name, brother. I like that kind of ish.
Yeah.
What made you choose that name?
Because women are gods.
And what makes women gods?
They create. They create life. They create families. Create societies. They're the most powerful being on the planet.
Nice.
They're gods.
Like it. Okay. What do you got to say about the topic?
Well, I love the fact that outside thinking, get rid of the constructs of a father and a mother in a family and a household. Just looking at it economically, which is what I get the impression you're trying to do. I think the mother plays a bigger role than just the labor of raising the child. The bond, the breastfeeding, all of that stuff requires her as a to be present in the child's life that I don't think can be easily duplicated or in any way really duplicated close to what a mother can give. I agree the labor part and being able to be nurturing and being able to step up, and even the economics of possibilities or likelihoods of women bringing in more income because of their ability to perform with multitasking and all of that stuff. I just think that the child would benefit from the mother being at home, at least in the beginning.
I agree. I agree with the in the beginning part.
That bond.
Yeah, definitely like first 2 years breastfeeding, definitely. But after that baby don't need that mama like that. It needs somebody, you know what I'm saying? But it don't need the mama specifically.
Right. I agree with that. Yep. I agree that the money that comes into the household should not be thought of as the person who labored for that money. Because ultimately,
say it again. Hold on,
home,
say that again. I missed it. What are you saying?
The money brought into the household shouldn't be considered the money of the person who labored for it. Because ultimately, the whole family labored for it. The mother stayed at home or the father stayed at home doing the labor of creating the space so that that person can thrive and go and do what they need to do is also labor. We usually consider it unpaid labor, but it should be paid by the spouse that is bringing in the actual currency.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're both working for that labor, and they both should be equally
compensated
and responsible for that labor. And they shouldn't look at it as, she's the one putting in. No one should be the breadwinner. It should be whoever we can get the bread. We're both sharing in the labor of producing it, and we're both sharing the labor of using it and discussing how it's being used.
Yeah, I think that the approach that I'm willing to take on this is, I know a lot of people like to talk about what's it called, like like they like to think about like ancient times, like hunting, gathering bullshit or whatever. But the way I look at this is like, if we were in a village, I would send out the best hunters. Like, I don't care if it's a woman, I don't care if it's a man, I'm gonna send out the best hunters. Like, it's not a man's duty to hunt, it's not a woman's duty, it's the person who is the best. You know what I mean? Like, whoever could bring back the most food and shit, they're the one. And when I look at this situation, if money is the game, right, and that you have to go hunt, I think women are actually better suited to make money than men are, generally speaking, right? Even though, and I think I don't want people to get confused. I understand that the wage gap is real and all of that stuff.
Absolutely.
But that is when everything is a one-to-one. So if a man working at Taco Bell versus a woman working at Taco Bell, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be, or a man working at Enterprise versus a woman working at Enterprise. Yeah. I hear all of that, right? I'm saying though, what if the man, because I think that most of the time the man ceiling is Taco Bell, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever. There's no knock on Taco Bell people, but I'm just saying that's the ceiling financially, right? And I think the woman's ceiling is significantly higher because she is A, willing to go get a higher education, and B, she's just better suited to get a higher education, right? And to finish and do all of that stuff. So if the man supports her early and lays the foundation for that, and you know what I'm saying, for whatever, first 4 or 5 years, making sure she go get her and finish her education, get her degree or whatever the case may be, while you work, right? While the man works and makes the majority of the money, she working too, but not not nearly as much. Or you could do, if you can support her 100%, support her 100% while she's doing that to expedite the process. And then boom, once she had the kids, and once she got the kids, and after like 2 years or so, boom, she goes and gets her freaking job or whatever the case may be, and starts a new career. And she could her earning potential is going to be significantly higher than yours as a freaking high school graduate or some dude with a certificate or something like that. Let's be honest, right? So that's how I'm looking at it too.
I think women perform better at most jobs, at least when it's dealing with customers, than men do, even despite whatever their degrees are.
You said it one more time? You say you think men what?
Women perform better at most customer service related jobs, which are usually where you're going to make the big money, than most men do, despite whatever degrees they have. I think women are just better at relationships in general. They just built
better at communication. Better at communication. Yeah.
At seeing those things that need to be seen. I used to run a sales team for a lot of different companies, and whenever I hired a woman, she always outperforms the men. And a lot of the times the men's sales would drop because they would spend all the time under the woman, right? Because they get distracted by the woman. So that always has to be factored in, that your male sales crew is going to decrease because they're so busy trying to pick up the female sales crew. while the woman is going to outperform them and still flirt or whatever she does with them, because women just know how to communicate, and both men and women like to communicate with women. So they end up doing really well in sales jobs and lawyer jobs, in jobs where the communication is essential. Obviously, social media, so on and so forth. We can go on and on. I think a lot of the times, I've had a lot of women that have left their jobs because they're making so much money that it emasculates their husband, quote unquote. Or their husband feels emasculated. They don't do anything to emasculate, but he feels that way.
Yeah.
And to keep the balance in the household, they will either lower, they'll
we'll wait for him to come back, but I want to read this comment because this type of stuff, we got to be careful with this.
They'll quit the job.
Oh. Hold on, give me 1 second. Nia said, nah, men need to go to work, not sit at home. They will cheat. They will be cheating left and right if they stay at home. Nia, two things. A, if a man is going to cheat, he's going to cheat, whether it be outside the home or in the home. I don't know. I don't know why you think going to work stops a man from cheating. Who told you that? That's crazy. That's crazy. And B,
if he has coin in his pocket,
yeah,
he's gonna have more access.
He's more likely, that's what I'm saying, he's more likely to cheat. And B, you're referring to taking care of children as sitting at home. You see what I'm saying? Like y'all got to be careful. I'm just saying, you got to be careful with this shit because it's gonna reveal. I'm just letting you know what it looks like to the people that's, you know what I'm saying. This is what the men say. This is what the other side would say. They think like that too. They think along those lines. So yeah, just be careful with that type of shit. If you care to, nah, whatever. But yeah, I think that's very reductive, and I think it's counterintuitive to what we're talking about here. But I get it though. I mean, for any woman that's like, nah, I want to stay at home and I ain't supporting no, whatever. That's fine. You could feel however you want to feel. But I would then just ask you, if you feel that way, then what are you saying about child rearing? If you feel like you going to work and making the money is you supporting a man, then what is child rearing then to you? Right? Is that not a job? It's just because we are in a society where they are unwilling to pay for a job that is probably the most important job, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean it's any less of a job. Like, isn't that what we're all like kind of fighting for, to like get it recognized in that way, that it's that it should be compensated and so on and so forth. So when you say stuff like sitting at home or I'm not taking care of no man that's just gonna stay at the house, like when you say stuff like that, you kind of
I think
careful.
Women should be compensated, or should be looking at ways of compensating this if they choose to stay home. I think that's a societal change, is really just making sure that the men are not hoarding the money or feel as if they have authority over the woman because they bring cash into the house. I think that household shouldn't be his cash, right? Because she's doing probably more labor than he is.
Yeah.
She's probably doing more work, not only when he's away from the home, but when he gets home, she's continuing to do more work.
Yeah.
And so I think, sometimes that's an argument, right? Either a lot of the times women are trying to move into men's quote unquote jobs when I'm like, we should just pay women more money for the jobs that they do really well. Teachers should be paid a lot more money than they do, which is generally a lot of the time women are the ones doing it. Therapists, people like that are generally done by women, not exclusively, obviously, but those kind of jobs where we call them soft jobs should be paid more money because they are worth more to us as a society.
Yeah, I think people saying I'm missing the nuance. I think you guys are missing the nuance. It's not me. I fully understand that men are not conditioned to stay at home, right? I know that.
Right.
I fully understand that. But it would also seem that we're not conditioned to go to work either. If we're being honest, right? Like we're not conditioned to go to work either. But the abuses that take place when the men go to work and when the women stay home they're great. There's a lot of abuse that happens when the men goes to work and the women stay home. That's what I'm saying. And I think you guys are actually missing that nuance. You're saying like, oh, the men are going to stay home and play 2K. Would you rather him play 2K or would you rather him abuse you? Would you rather him play 2K or would you rather him financially manipulate you and he have all the financial power in the relationship? Also, this makes it safer for women too, because women are the ones who make the money, right? Does it not make it safer for the women if and when you guys break up, then the money, you know what I'm saying? Like you have the money, you're the woman and you have the money, you make the money. So now you're in a better financial position than the men. Like, I don't know. I think it's a weird take to assume that, I think not a weird take. I think that what we're missing is we're failing on both sides. That's what that's what I need for you guys to understand. Men are failing at both sides. You think we're better at going to work when the average man makes $50,000 a year? You think working is our forte? Working ain't our forte. You think working is our forte when the average man doesn't want to go to college, refuses to get a higher education? You think that's what we're in? Like, we're not. We're not built for that either. Obviously, we're not built for either one right now. We suck at both. But with one of them, I see hella abuse. Hella abuse. And that's fine. Destiny says, I'd rather him fail going to work. That's fine. I would. I mean, I think your family suffers more. To be honest with you, I think your family suffers more than, think of what I'm saying. More than likely, let's say the divorce rate is 50-50. It is 50-50, right? 50% of people get divorced. So if he fails while he's working and you're not, what are you going to do? Because you ain't gonna get no money. Alimony only get paid out to a fucking fraction of people, and it's only paid out for a certain amount of time, right? You're gonna have to start your career. You're gonna have to do all of that. Like, it just, for the women's sake, I'm just saying, looking at it from the women's perspective, it's why it's not. This is tough. Wait, sir.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on. The cognitive dissonance that's happening right now is wild. I already said, yes, I believe both people should work. I'm saying for the people, if you're going to stay home or if you're going to go, you know what I'm saying, you're going to do this situation, right? Like, I'm saying for the people that if it's like you're going to have a stay-at-home parent, I'm saying the stay-at-home parent should be the father. That's all I'm saying. I believe that the best case scenario is both people going to work. Yes. But if you're going to have a stay-at-home parent, I think it should be the father. And I think that because you guys think that this is what I believe. I believe that a reason why men are bad at rearing children is because we weren't taught how to rear, you know what I mean? Like, we weren't taught it, right? So I think that men can learn, and I'm not saying men would ever live up to what the moms do, but that's happened many a times. I don't know if you guys have seen this happen before, but I've seen men who were absentee fathers, like, or neglectful fathers, while they were home, or while they were in the home with the mother, and then once they were in a relationship anymore, then he became like, because he's the only parent, so he can't go ask your mom, go, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do that. So when you're the only person there, you have to do more. That's what I'm saying. You have to do more as the father. Go ahead, Shawnee. I know you haven't said anything yet.
I will say this as with men, they make little jokes about staying at home. I do think if they really truly want to do it, me personally, like, I see no problem with it. But I think we got to go, before we even get to the whole being a stay-at-home dad, more men need to start advocating for paid parental leave, because here in the United States, we have no like mandated paid parental leave for mom or dad. And it really depends on like where you work and what type of benefits they offer around like parental leave. But for the most part, the US as a whole, we don't offer those type of like benefits to encourage like men and women to like have kids. I know other countries give up to like they give you up to like 8 months paid time off, and it's for both parents. So that needs to be normalized first. Like men need to start normalizing, hey, maybe if I do have a kid, like I should take time off and be at home with my kid as well, and not just think, oh, the woman should be the one at home, taking time off. Like they need to get involved as well, and then most importantly, like get paid for it. So I think if we get that situated, then we can get to like the whole stay-at-home dad concept.
I think there's a ton of things we need to get situated personally. I mean, if you're asking me in a perfect world, there's a bunch of shit we should do. But I'm just saying with what we got right now, literally what we got right now. I think the I don't think it would be worse. I think people are like, I don't think it would be. I think it would actually be better. And I don't know how much better it would be. I honestly think it would be better, even with the way that men are conditioned right now. I truly believe it would be better. Like, because on every level, the only thing that I could think of where I'm like, all right, that's going to be bad, but it's a big one. Don't get me wrong. It's the biggest one. It's the state of the children, right? Like what conditions or whatever the case may be. No doubt about it. I personally, though, don't think that the men who would agree to do this would be completely neglectful of their children. I don't.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like y'all can say whatever. You can say that they just gonna sit at home and play 2K all day. Okay, cool. If you believe that, then so be it. I don't. I think there's only so much of that could actually happen. That's all I'm saying. And I've seen the situation where the man stayed at home and did all of that stuff, and he was phenomenal, right? So when men do it, they, when they want to do it, they do great jobs too, like mothers do. But I think that with the way that men are conditioned right now, I just see way more pros than cons. Like, you guys tell me the cons. Like, that's what I want to. I want to hear what the cons are. Let's do that. An old school pros and cons list. I would love to do that, because yeah.
And I also think this goes back to what Penelope, what she was mentioning earlier. I'm gonna add on to what she said. This also had, how do I word this? If this type of dynamic is going to work, then people need to let go of basically like the patriarchy. They need to divest from patriarchy. They need to divest from gender roles, because we complain about the same gender roles that we're consistently trying to uphold. Like, we're still assigning certain roles to people based on gender. So if people divest away from that, then we wouldn't be tying gender to caregiving, because it shouldn't be tied to gender anyways. And y'all like to bring up biology and what we're wired to do. First of all, you're socialized to do different things, but a lot of y'all don't know the difference between biology and sociology. Like, it's different concepts that are taught in those type of classes, and it literally be kicking a lot of y'all's asses. Because when y'all be saying people are wired to do stuff, no, we are socialized to act a certain way. And I need people to learn the difference. And you can undo that socialization and indoctrination if you're willing to do.
You got to be willing to do the work.
Thank you.
So,
yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let me read this off before I forget, Penelope. Weaponized incompetence. I think that's what a lot of women are afraid of happening, is the weaponized incompetence, right? Or no. I think the thing that women are seeing from men is actually weaponized incompetence. It's not that men don't know how to do the jobs. We do. That's what I'm saying. But if it's agreed upon, if it's not like you're forcing him to stay home, if you guys literally sit down and you go, okay, right? Like this is what I agree. This is going to be our best, we're going to make a lot of money. You make 60 grand. If I go to college, when I get out with this career, I'm going to start off at 50, but in 3 years, I'll be making 80 or 65, whatever. And my ceiling is 105, whatever the case may be, right? Like you guys do that math, right? So you got it. So you get him on board. He buys into it. Weaponized incompetence will not be very prevalent in that situation. That's what I'm saying. So instead of thinking like men are just like y'all can't do shit, a lot we can though. We really can. We just we play dumb. We act like we can't. Right? Well, you wash the dishes. You don't like the way that I load the dish. Like that's what we do all the time. Right? I can't. It's so hard for me to get them. It's so hard for me to get them dressed. That's not a perfect scenario. That's literally a scenario where both of you guys agreed that this is the best course of action. Weaponized incompetence comes into play the vast majority of the time when the man feels like he's being forced to do something against his will. But if you guys both decide that this is the best course of action, why would he weaponize his incompetence against you in that case? It doesn't make sense. See what I'm saying? I don't understand the logic there. If you guys both sit down and go, yep, deal, boom, y'all make a fucking blood oath. Why is he then going to turn around and do the shittiest job he can do? It doesn't make sense. That's what I'm saying. Once again, is he going to do it to the level of the woman? Probably not. Probably not. I ain't gonna hold you. That's not what I'm saying at all. But will he be competent? Yeah. I think it can be. I think the average man can competently take care of his children. No doubt about it. And take care of at home. No doubt about it. Men act the same way. We talk about this all the time. Men knew how to cook, men knew how to clean, men knew how to wash their own clothes before they got a woman, right? All of a sudden, we get a woman, we forget how to do that shit. So it ain't that we don't know how to do it. We just, when we have a woman, we automatically go, oh, that's mommy. She gonna take care of that for us, right? That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Penelope.
No, I 1,000% agree. And I think maybe I need to clarify a little bit. I was working out some of my thoughts in the chat, but I think part of why we have such a hard time with this is because of that wording. And when we say, oh, that's mommy, that means, oh, she'll handle it, right? For example, like I come from restaurant industry. My dad was a chef and my partner is a chef. They both made their careers being paid for doing labor that, if done in the home, all of a sudden is now invisible and is unpaid. Mm-hmm. And so I think part of what it has to do is the title of mom, which also starts, you were talking about the blood oath. It's like, it also starts, even at the altar when you're talking about man and wife. I'm talking about the wording, changing our perception of who has to do it and how they have to do it.
So instead of calling it a mother, calling it whatever's called a parent.
Right, exactly.
Instead of calling it a mother, a husband and wife, just saying partner, because that's what you are, a mate or spouse, whatever. Yeah, I got you.
Right, and so I think what helped clarify a little bit when I was writing it down is, so it says men should be stay-at-home fathers. I think before we make anybody stay-at-home parents, we have to make them parents. And I think right now, the standard of parenthood is motherhood, and that is by design. Mm-hmm. So if we have men aspiring to be parents, like that's going to shift.
Yeah, it'll change how they view the job or the role. Exactly. Or whatever. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
100%.
And I wanted to point this out really quick before Sean above he speak. Another uncomfortable truth, a lot of us really need to get away from this whole like protector and provider thing when it comes to situations like this in relationships. Like, I think a lot of us need to get away from that, because I'm gonna be very honest, like most women, y'all are not even dating men that have money. So I don't even know why y'all are upholding this protector provider thing, and y'all don't even date men that have money like that, much less make enough money for you to stay home. So I just feel like it's just you're contradicting yourself. And then from the man's perspective, like you sitting here upholding this whole protector provider thing, and you really have no aspirations to actually go out and like make more money, and you're aspiring for these roles that you don't even want to do in the first place. So it's like, what's the point? You might as well just do an egalitarian relationship and be done with it. But y'all are so caught up in trying to uphold these like patriarchal standards that are not sustainable in this day and age. And we sit here and have conversations all the time about like what women are doing and what men are doing, yet y'all are still trying to uphold patriarchal norms that it's not sustainable. And then you got people ending up in situations because y'all are sitting here holding on to traditional norms from like the 1950s. And you got women getting asked out in relationships because y'all sitting here giving up financial independence to stay home and do unpaid labor, when you honestly, if you're going to be a stay-at-home mom, you should be getting paid. But that's another conversation for another day. So in order for all of this to work, y'all need to get out of this, because y'all's expectations and y'all's reality, it ain't matching. So just let the shit go. Right. And aim for something that's more progressive and modern. That's going to work out in the long run, and that's going to be more sustainable than y'all sit here upholding traditional gender norms that y'all don't even want to partake in the first place. Because if you did, you'd be doing it, but you're not. So where do we go from here?
Fact. Let me read the super chat from Anthony. Anthony said, I'm still stuck on a comment that mentions that certain cultures don't allow fathers to change their babies' diapers. Why is that a good thing? It's not. Also, the people, this is a question because I may be missing something. Are stay-at-home fathers more prone to be abusive than fathers who go to work? For everybody, because I asked what was a pro, and I read a comment. Somebody said abuse will go up. Is that what we're doing? Because I don't know if that's true or not. I'm curious. I
don't think there's. I know for sure. Like, there's no data for that, because like I'm pretty sure there's no data for that, because men staying at home is typically, it's not the norm. So I don't think there's any data to substantiate that claim. Now there is data about men who are unemployed. They tend to do even less labor than men who are employed. There is data.
Yeah, I know that for sure. That I know that without a doubt. I talk about that all the time. I think that shit is crazy. But yeah, I'm saying, because once again, I was asking for the pros and the cons, and then I just read, and a few people kept saying it. They were like, "Oh, the abuse would go up and molestation would go up," and I was going, "Why would that be?" Now, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying. During COVID, abusive rates did go up. I don't know if that's the same thing, but
IPV rates and child abuse rates went up. But the study, and I actually looked this up. The study that I looked over, it didn't specify whether it was men
or women.
If it was men or women. It just said the rates went up. So I'm just gonna assume it was with both parents being home, because there were situations where like both parents were like at home working remote, but they didn't really go into the specific deep.
Lockdowns was a really wild thing, man. But yeah, I'm curious. I don't know.
I mean, I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, if you can, just let me know. I'm very curious, because that would be something that would be like, oh, okay. But here's what I'm saying. It seems logical to me. You know what I'm saying? Like you spend more time, yada, yada, yada. But I'm like, it's kind of like cheating though. I'm kind of like, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. I don't think it's like, oh, I'm at home with them now, so now I'm going to do it. Like, I don't know if that's the case. You know what I mean? Like, I think you're either an abuser or you're not. I don't think that staying at home more with your kids increases the chances of you being abusive though, if that makes sense.
I can see if you consider, which I do, but
cheating is abuse.
Cheating
exactly.
is abuse.
Yeah, cheating is abuse.
Yeah,
I was just reading it. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, cheating is abuse, and that and cheating is. I think cheating goes up if the man is out of the home working. I can almost guarantee you without a doubt cheating goes up with the man outside of the home, because y'all know y'all women, you're with your baby all day. It's hard as hell. It's hard as where are you going? You can't go nowhere. You got that baby all day, especially early. I guess when the baby goes to school, yeah, you got time. I'll take that, but I don't know. I think working is way more likely to have a little work wife and all that stuff. And cheaters, exactly. If you're gonna cheat, you're gonna cheat, man. That's all I'm saying. I don't. Same thing with abuse. Like I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't know. It's not adding up for me. What up, Liz?
Hey, public. So with the thing about abuse is that the likelihood is, at least, at first, because fathers are not used to being home with their kids, absolutely abuse rates would go up because, like, for
Neglect.
example, how when you have when you're taking your baby home from the hospital and they give you pamphlets like about shaking the baby and why you shouldn't do it, and you think to yourself like, I'm never going to do that. Like, why are they like, oh my God, don't shake the baby? It seems absurd. And then like the baby's been up for 36 hours and you haven't slept. And all of a sudden you're like, I kind of see why they gave me that pamphlet. You're just kind of like, like, I'm not going to do it, but like, I'm so frustrated and so tired. Like it doesn't seem so absurd anymore.
The intrusive thought comes in. Yeah.
Right. Right. And you're just like so frustrated. You're not even necessarily like, it's not even like a malice thing. You're just so overexhausted.
Yeah.
So like, I think that men, and this has a lot to do with social conditioning, just have a shorter fuse when it comes to kids oftentimes. And so if they're at home more, if they're having to deal with like, they're just going to have to be a lot more patient than they're used to being. And so that is where these kinds of things can become abusive and even dangerous because they just get overwhelmed. They just, you know what I mean? They might just like snap. There's actually once every 6 days, like a father unalives their child because of like, it's a custody agreement where suddenly he's alone with the kid in like where he wasn't before, like after divorce. And so like, once every 6 days that happens.
But is that because of like he would do that? That's, to me, I don't know. I don't know if that's simply because he's alone with the child. I think that might be because of the whole, like, the relationship coming to it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's more like that than like, I'm alone with the child now. Now's my opportunity. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I don't know.
And that's true. And they don't like separate which is which.
Yeah.
I think it's probably both. Like they're not used to being alone with the kid. They're not used to having like no one else there to sort of like tag team with. And that's going to be very overwhelming. And then also there could be like hard feelings. I think and even I think in the study I read, they said specifically, they were like, it's probably both things. We haven't separated the data.
Interesting.
Yeah. So anyway,
men ain't built for it either way.
To say is yes, it's
God, dog, my phone done died. Oh my goodness. My phone done died. Oh yes. Damn. That was an interesting point. I wanted to hear more of that. Yeah, I know. I should have had my phone plugged up. I'm stupid. I actually thought it was. Men marry children around. Yeah, I know. I'm a dummy. That's why you shouldn't leave your kids with me. Having kids is starting to sound like a double-edged sword. It seemed like you can't win either way, man. That's what it's, you know. It's not going too well for the fellas. The girlie said, "Nah, man, not so fast. Not so fast. The men's ain't right. The men's ain't all the way right in the head, huh?"
Like these things all can make, a situation that is not great far worse.
Sorry, my phone died. So I'm starting to come to the realization that maybe y'all just shouldn't have babies with men at this point. Oh man, we are.
I mean, that I ain't gonna hold you. That was kind of my other.
We only hold on. We an hour in, Shawnee. I'm already like, hey, abort mission. Like, goddamn, like, why y'all still getting pregnant by these things? The hell is wrong with y'all? I want to shake y'all like niggas be shaking them babies. Wake up.
I mean, well, and part of me has to wonder if, and I noticed this during COVID when I was seeing my boss. He just had a newborn baby at home, and he was going into the office unnecessarily and just making work up, right? Part of me has to wonder if, sending quote unquote the man out of the home, out to work, out to hunt, whatever it is that we've historically done, if part of that has to do with, we used to have more of a family network at least, and we could just kind of send dad out to do whatever he has to do while work is done in the home. But I think what changes it is how we've devalued what happens in the home. So I think for me, that's part of the biggest issue is we just don't see it as work now. And because we don't have a family network, there isn't really anybody there to kind of buffer some of the tension that might come from the violence that happens when a man is inside the home or outside the home.
Yeah, this is sad. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm a little sad right now, man. This is one of them. This is sad.
I mean, that's what happens when you got to look at it from all. I try to look at it from all different angles. That's why I brought up I think we need to normalize certain things first and get away from goals. But I feel I'm gonna be very honest. I don't have too much hope in a lot of people to divest away from that. A lot of people are hell bent on upholding patriarchal norms. So I don't even think people really have a set solution on what they truly want to do, because they're not even undoing the work to kind of undo that socialization and indoctrination. So it's everybody just going in a circle at this point, because they don't. It's they know the system is problematic, but then at the same time, it's they're not really doing the work to kind of
change it.
Yeah, they're not really doing the work to change it, and then they're not really doing the work to kind of figure out who they are as a person, as an individual, outside of upholding the patriarchy, and then trying to subscribe to these subscribe to accomplishing all these societal goals. And it's why are you trying to uphold the status quo in the first place? What benefit do you get from upholding it at the end of the day? And that's what made me start I think that's what really started radicalizing me in my mid-20s. I'm what am I upholding the status quo for? What is this gonna it's not gonna do anything for me. I'm upholding societal norms that I don't really even care about upholding in the first place. So why am I doing it?
Yeah. Let me read the super chat. Loved one said, working Working male relatives still molested their children. Working outside the home didn't stop them. Something at home gives them more access. Oh, being at home gives them more access. Yeah. Man, damn. Hey, and I don't have the highest of I don't have the highest of I don't have the most faith in men in general. I got a lot of faith. I probably got more faith in men, you know, than most people, but I don't have like a ton of faith in men. But man, this shit right here, this kind of heartbreaking, low key. I ain't going. This is crazy. It's sad. Also said, in order for this to work, we need to socialize young boys now. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. If we can get the boys, if we can start doing it with the boys, then definitely it'll be way better. Anyone over the age of 10 is too far gone for this work. Most men will neglect kids. Damn, 10. You can't even get the teenagers on board. Yeah, man. Ray Red said, so men are that bad? All men are this bad? No, nobody said all men, but are men this bad? I do think most men are this. I mean, man, it's so hard to have faith in men. It's really hard. It's really tough.
And I also, like, I think people also have like this, they don't really know like what direction to go in, because like you got the people that, oh, they don't believe like two people in the household should be working because they think somebody should stay at home with the kids, but then it's like y'all don't really make enough money to even live off one income, but then y'all don't want to combine incomes and like invest in daycare because you don't want nobody else taking care of your kids. Like, it's just, people go back and forth, and I think that's what they have a hard time trying to figure out, like, what works best for their household. But like I said, just don't have no kids.
Would anything change if at like an institutional level we paid instead for the domestic labor to be paid for, and then all of the things in the public sphere were kind of the more gray areas? Because I was reading something about kind of the invention of the public and domestic sphere, and part of me thinks that if we just paid for mothers and parents to take care of the kids in the home, and then women had control of the finances and then could send men for whatever needs to be done outside of the home, then maybe the power dynamic and at least the protections around the domestic sphere.
Hold on. Let me read these super chats real quick. Venus said, men can't even be trusted to work in the fucking morgue. I mean, y'all gotta understand. I'm gonna say something though. If we saying that, that is what I'm saying. Like, if that's the thing, then why have babies with men at all? You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. No cap. Like, it's fucking, yeah. I see why a bunch of women don't want to have babies. Like, pretty much. It's wild.
Can I respond to that?
Ariel, yeah. Hold on, let me read the super chat. Ariel, I think. I've been alone, quote unquote, for the past 3 years, and it has been the most peace I have ever experienced as an adult. I believe that. Totally understand. Oh, hey, and also I do have faith in men. Like I said, I just don't have. I don't feel like my expectations are unrealistic for men. I feel like I have realistic expectations for men, right? But yeah. You can respond to that real quick, Godric, and then we gotta get Kay in.
Well, in defense of the patriarchy, don't you think women that don't want kids are trying to swing that Cardi bag? That's not a right.
What? Women that don't want to have kids.
Women who say they want to have kids are trying to swing that Cardi bag. That's not a right to do that.
What's a Cardi bag? Cardi B?
Like, like trying to have money and trying to have nice things, get their nails done, get the designer handbag, get the hair done, all this. They exchange for family.
Okay, you sound like a fucking hater.
Yeah, I'm not understanding that at all. What do you mean? I don't understand.
What does that even mean?
They always go to this weird version of a woman in their mind that's like, oh, so you think you deserve nice things because but you don't want to have my babies and be my wife's slave? Like, yeah, what the fuck?
What's that I'm making? How much is enough money for you ladies nowadays? Like, what has this turned into? Like, what's the dollar amount?
He's trying to derail the conversation. Can we get back to the topic? Because what the fuck are you talking about, Dodger?
I don't know what he talking about. That didn't make no sense. What do you mean, you ladies?
Have your echo chamber.
What?
If a man says in defense of the patriarchy, you just go ahead and stop listening. He's not saying shit.
He wasn't about to say nothing, and he ran. Go ahead, Kay.
Hey, yo, you know when you said I don't understand now why y'all would have babies with men. I felt that in my soul, friend, and I hate that for you. I hate that you felt that in that moment. But
I don't often feel that, but this is one of them days where I'm starting. I'm like, damn.
But I could see the sadness in your face, like your whole demeanor. It just seemed like it just sucked all the life out of you.
It's bad.
You're a good dad.
It ain't even me. I don't even be mad for myself. I don't be sad for myself. I just be like, fuck, man. Like, y'all, man.
That's what it was, folks. It was the realization that struck him.
Yeah, like, man. And I do this shit every day, and I really do feel like I got a good understanding of, like, you know, like where we're at as, you know, like where men are at and whatever. But then sometimes when I get to talking to women about it, like from a different angle, and then I'm like, damn, it's even worse than I thought. Y'all are really like, man.
In public, and here's the hard part.
It's bad.
You have no way of knowing what type of father a man is going to be until that child comes.
Oh, I know that for sure.
And people always say like, oh, well, you seen signs, you seen this, you seen that.
Nah.
You don't see shit until you ask that bitch to make a ball for the first time.
I will die on that hill. Y'all not gonna never sell me on red flags or green flags, because I done seen it go both ways. I done seen the most idiot dummy in the, you know, crash out dummy in the street type dude be a dad, turn into a dad, and like really start being a dad. You be like, oh, that shit's like really matured into being a dad, man. And then I just seen like dudes who I thought had they should have get, and they first baby on the way, and they start doing coke and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
But then it totally throws out that the red pill theory of when they tell us to choose better, or you the one chose them, you chose them. Mm-hmm. And it's like, dude, y'all don't play your worst card at the table. You don't play your worst hand in the middle of the card game. Mm-hmm. Like you trying to play your best card because you trying to win this game. So you're not gonna sit up there and pretend like you can't play. Like you gonna put your best foot forward. You gonna try to beat. At the end of the day, you gonna try to beat my ass, TikTok, for educational purposes only. Like you're not putting your worst foot forward when you meet a woman and you're trying to court her and woo her and show her that you're the man for the job. Mm-hmm. And then when that baby comes and you realize that you're not getting 100% of her attention, affection, time, her attention is going elsewhere because now she's thinking about nourishing that baby. And if she is a working mom, she's thinking about getting back to work. She needs to pick up more hours because daycare is the cost of mortgage. There are so many moving pieces and parts. And a lot of women, this is why they opt to do it alone.
Yeah.
Because if you taking care of two small children, why the fuck you gotta keep redirecting a grown ass man?
Yeah.
That's exhausting in and of itself. That's a full-time job.
It is. Oh shit. Speaking of that, forgot to send something to somebody. Anyways. And they reminded me.
But that's the crux of it. So it's like, do women abandon companionship altogether? Because with said companionship comes the idea of having kids. Here's the thing. I want to be a mama. But again, it's not only finding a partner that is capable, but finding a partner who is willing to do the work, even if they are not that capable, right? If you don't know how to be a father, You've never been a father before. But if you are willing to put in the work, put your best foot forward, learn on the job. This is on the job training, and be open to the criticism. Be open to make some mistakes, but then,
learn from them.
Not fight your partner tooth and nail.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because what happens is, then y'all want to argue at the woman and say she nagging because you put the diaper on backwards, bitch. Or you don't know how to mix the formula, or you don't want to wake up as much as she does to give the bottle, and she's exhausted, and you done got your best rest.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So you have to be flexible as a partner. So if you're not going into partnership with women willing to put in the work and willing to better yourself, it is going to be a sinking ship.
Facts. Let me read these 2 super chats real quick. Osa said, I'm not entertaining any conversations with the man who makes less than $300K a year for me to be a stay-at-home mom. So let's both work. I'm with that. $300K sound about right. I ain't gonna even hold you. That's what my wife told me I gotta make. If she was like, if you make $300K, I'll stay home. I wasn't trying to get her to stay home, but that was just the conversation we had. She was like, when you make $300K a year, I'll start staying at home. I was like, cool. I mean, you could do that. I don't care. Birth rates around the world public. We are bringing birth to a great halt, slowly but surely. Yeah, I don't blame y'all, man. Shit, I can't. Y'all know I don't argue against logic. That's not my. I'm not the. I don't like arguing against logic and facts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. I'm happy I did this prompt though, but this is definitely a tough one. I'm like, man, yeah. And I thought about it. I think about it deeply. Go ahead, Mims.
Yeah, I think what I'd say, like, it all just boils down to how adaptable are men, how intentional are they, and how teachable are they. Because personally, I'm born and raised in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
But I moved to the U.S. Okay, we're age mates, I would say. We're age mates, and my husband is also from the same country I'm from. And, like, patriarchy, I would say when it comes to, like, patriarchy, in Africa, it's, like, way, way up there.
Yeah.
Like, way up there.
Yeah.
So when we came here and then we got married and started having kids, we agreed, and I was a stay-at-home mom for like 12 years. Like, no account. I did not even have my own bank accounts or nothing, like, all sorts of that stuff. But, however, anytime I would tell anybody, like, oh, I have a stay-at-home mom and this and that, and they'll be like, oh, do you have? I'm like, I don't have my own accounts. I don't have my own money. But at the same time, I don't have to beg my husband for money to do this or that. He would just be like open, and he was like a real partner, I would say. He was a good partner. He would always like, oh, what do you need done? What is this? He would come home from, working 12-hour shifts and whatnot. Sometimes he would even find me passed out, while breastfeeding. And he would just come and carry the baby off, and I found the whole house clean, and, everything else is done. All the other kids are in bed. I'm like, okay, so how come? And he'll be like, oh, it's partnership, And then when we'd have family and friends visit, they would look at him like, even his own friends, he's had kind of like friends, because they'd be like, oh, she's a woman. She's supposed to be doing this,
Mm-hmm.
It's her job. This is what she's supposed to be doing. This is, their natural state, as they say. But he was like, no. We have 4 kids. We have 2 boys and 2 girls. So he's like, if I participated in making these kids, I have to participate in raising them.
Do you think that's not how most men get down though, right?
But that's what I'm saying. That's why, like, he lost a lot of friends. I would say that for sure. Even some of his family don't even talk to him. And at that time, to this day, they say, oh, your wife, you're being, your wife is controlling you, is doing this. I'm like, no. And then after that, when, the kids got of age and, they started being super self-sufficient and
whatnot. He said, okay, I can try and stay at home too and see how it goes, with you. But, at this point, the kids were kind of like of age where they can do a lot of stuff by themselves, but with some guidance and supervision over there,
How did you?
When that happened,
how did you meet? How did you meet your husband?
Oh, we met at a mutual friends engagement party. So it was a mutual friends engagement party, and married. We've been married almost 20 years now. So.
And how long did you guys date before you got married?
We dated for 2 years. Because at that time I was still in college. I was still like finishing my undergrad, and he had just finished his master's, and
nice.
So we dated until I got into my master's program, and that's when we got married. So
congratulations. That's dope. I was just asking because somebody said you had good vetting skills, but it just sounded like you just got lucky. Like you just.
Yeah, well, that's what I say, because a lot of times I hate to say this, I also have brothers, and my brothers look at him and they're like, "Who are you?" Like, and I hate to say this, but my brothers, they are POS, as we would say. Both of them are 2 brothers and 6 half brothers, I would say. So, and literally all of them, they are like POS. That from being deadbeats and from being abusers and being, all that. So it's yeah, I would say I was like for sure, I would say I would admit it. I was lucky, and so
that's good.
I think all it boils down to is just how intentional are these men, and how adaptable are they, and how teachable are they? Because when you put all those together, majority of men are not. I would grade them F. When it comes to those 3 categories, I would give an F.
I agree.
They are not adaptable, they are not teachable, and they are not intentional. So that's what I have to say.
Okay, I appreciate it. My divinity was good. I'm out there. Rotate you on. My divinity, you there?
Hey, yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, I always have this controversial view, but it's not really a view. It's really facts. And what I think is disappointing is that when we talk about the issue of males in whatever capacity we're talking about, it's always that people want to discount the fact that biologically there is an issue. There are deficits. So when it comes to them staying at home, there are a lot of factors that you have to consider. The fact that they get so angry and so frustrated when they can't understand things. Not just that. I wanted to talk about this real quick. I just wanted to add this in here. If you've never looked up public, I don't know if you ever did, but if you've never looked up the article that's talks about the fragile male, I think that that's something that you have to look into in order to understand why males have so many issues, and not just issues in society, issues in relationships, issues even within themselves, amongst themselves. I would never let a man stay home with my kids. I would never. If I had to choose between going to work and staying home, I would stay home, because I just don't feel like they're safe around children. A lot of them, and you don't really know which one. Males are they are attracted to feminine bodies. So when it comes to a child, I wouldn't trust myself. I wouldn't trust a man, my child's own father, around her when it comes to like changing diapers. And maybe that's just me because of some things that I've been through. But I just personally would not trust that kind of situation. And I know that people say, well, you have to get to know him and then you'll see whatever. It's been plenty of instances where that has happened, where a woman thought that she could trust a man that she was with, the father of her child, and then she found out that he was abusing his own daughter. So things like that are issues. Things like the male aggressiveness when the baby is crying. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just not able to handle things like that. That's just me. I do know that there are some men, I'm not saying it's all, but I do know that there are some men who are able to be stay-at-home fathers, be great fathers. I hear you talk about your children. I see how you are with your children when they come on camera and how you deal with them. I think that's beautiful. But again, that's only some of y'all. But for the most part, it's just a little bit strange. So that's really my only contribution. For those who have not read the article, The Fragile Male, I think that you should, because it's not a biological, it's not a social issue only. It's not a biological issue. It's both of them. And that's the reason why, like the lady who just spoke, has said that, you know, she grades them at an F. Because on a mass scale, collectively, when it comes to the male, they are biologically deficient. They have issues. And the societal programming that males get, that they're stronger, they're better, or they're, you know, whatever they're being told, to make them feel like they have to conquer and dominate, all of that stuff is a lie. And that's the reason why they fail socially, because biologically they just simply don't measure up. So that's all I wanted to say.
But I was going to ask you, so there's no, I mean, when I observe nature, this is why I hate comparing humans to other, you know, to other animals and other things, because, you know, we're definitely extremely unique in so many ways. But the way that when I hear what you're saying, it sounds like men aren't meant to be in close proximity to children or women based on nature. And
no, that I don't think that it should be looked at, because I never said anything about animals. But
I know
the thing that I'm realizing is, yeah, I get what you're saying though. That has been something that people say. But the thing is, public, if that were not the case, do you think we would have as many instances of men essaying children, taking women's lives? Do you think that if they were to be somewhat separate, that we would have as many issues that we have with them?
If we were separate, no, I mean, just because it would just cut down on the access, right? So these are crimes of proximity. But the reason why is because I recently, I don't remember if it was a TikTok or whatever, I don't remember, but I just saw this guy. He was talking about how Darwin discovered this tribe of people, right? And he said in the tribe there was no crime. This is what Darwin wrote. There was no crime. There was no, you know, it was no little to no inequality or anything like that. I think he referred to them as like the happiest people on earth or something. I think that was like the name of the article that he wrote, or whatever he wrote. And essentially, in this society, the way that it was set up was like people didn't like hoard stuff, and you were rewarded, you know, you were looked as the wealthiest person in the society because you gave all your stuff away. Maslow, I'm sorry, my wife said Maslow. So yeah, but anyways, but like, so when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, okay, so I'm like, clearly there is a way for us to, as a society, to condition ourselves in such a way that we're not, that men aren't hyper aggressive, that men aren't hyper violent, that men aren't coddled, that men aren't, you know, sexually overstimulated, and so on and so forth. Like we could socially engineer a society where that's not the case. And then you also add to that the economic pressures and things of that nature. And yeah, I'm, you know, it's a recipe for disaster, right? So for me, almost everything that I see men do en masse is directly connected to socialization, for the most part, because, you know, yeah, men are bigger than women. It doesn't mean that they have to use it to subdue women. See what I'm saying? We could be bigger than women, so we can open up jars and move fucking trees. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. Like, it doesn't have to be like we're bigger than women so we could, you know, abuse women. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that watching and raising my own children, I see how easy it is. I won't say easy, but it's simple. You know what I'm saying? The approach is, it ain't easy. It's hard because society is all constantly like fighting against that. But if society wasn't fighting against us, I think the things that I'm teaching myself, I think they'll be fairly easy for him to understand and hold on to. You know what I mean? A lot of the stuff that like I don't use, as far as I know, I'm not at home using like homophobic language and things of that nature. But my son's on the internet and my son has friends, and I have to sometimes, like, he says stuff like right now he's saying like, what the Sigma? It's stupid. He's 8, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, but he's out here saying what the Sigma because he's on YouTube all day, and those dumb YouTubers, you know, even just introducing the word Sigma and, you know what I mean, into his lexicon is a weird thing to me. Like, I'm hearing it. I'm not gonna say nothing to him right now because he don't even know what the flip it means. But you know, and they play that game like English or Spanish, and then they, you know, and whoever moves first is gay, and you know, all that stupid shit. Like, so I have to tell him like, don't play that game. But like, without, you know what I mean, without outside force, like I would never have to correct him on any of that stuff, right? He would just know what me and his
I don't mean to interrupt you.
mother
I'm not
do.
talking about this. I'm not just talking about socially. I'm talking about issues because I do know that society trains men to be a certain way. And then when we go through certain trends and things like that in society, I do understand that those trends do affect how our children see things. What I'm specifically talking about is the complete base nature of men. Then when you add the society, patriarchal, Abrahamic religions that they're brought up in, that also just exacerbates the issues of the male in general.
Who knows the base nature of men though? Like who's
the people who studied it. When it comes to studying the X and the Y chromosome, when it comes to studying the gender deficiencies that they have, if you don't mind, I wanted to read this. It's really small. It's just summary points of the fragile male, and I really encourage you and anybody else to look this up, not just to learn about men, but if you have you know, male children. The disadvantages of the male are usually seen as socially mediated. Even from conception, before social effects come into play, males are more vulnerable than females. Social attitudes about the resilience of boys compound the biological deficit. Male mortality is greater than female mortality throughout life. The causes are a mixture of biological and social pressures. We need to be aware of both in order to promote better development and health for boys and men. It's not just a thing where it's societal pressures, societal conditioning. The male in general, no matter what his race, no matter what his socioeconomic status, has issues. And then when you add those issues, when you add him into society with the programming, with the over-sexualization of women and just everybody, that just adds even more issues to his cycle. And so I'm not trying to like start an argument at all, but
No, it's not an argument for me.
Okay, I appreciate that, but I just feel like if we're gonna have a conversation, that we should really talk about the issue from the root instead of just symptoms. And that's the reason why I feel like you brought up the tribe or whatever. I think that those women in those tribes, or even just being in nature, those men were given or maybe even allowed to have their own way of expressing themselves instead of being controlled and contained. Like, school is not for the typical traditional school system is not meant for males because they need to be active. So sitting down all day for hours trying to have somebody talk at you and teach you, that's not how most of them learn, which is why it is reflected that they may not, you know, be as good in school or academically. Yeah. So that's the thing that I can see.
You think most women like learning the way that our school system is structured, and girls?
I don't think that they do.
Yeah.
But from what it looks like, they may do better at adapting to that, whereas men don't.
They do, yeah.
Or males don't.
I think, and do you think that a reason why men will reject, like, allowing themselves to be taught or whatever you want to say could be because, boys are taught things like boys will be boys, and we're not really taught to listen and things of that nature when we're younger. And
I think that boys are just hyperactive, and then when they are hyperactive and they're unable to listen, then people will tell them, or they'll make the excuse that boys will just be boys. And that's the purpose. That's the whole purpose of reading this article, because it basically shows that if you really do look at the differences between males and females, and you see the differences, you're able to raise your children better according to what they are. And in the case for the male, coddling them, making excuses, and just I don't even want to get into all of that. But if you actually know the issues that they have on those levels, then you will be able to understand what their limits are, like their limitations. Because I don't hate males. I don't. I love them. And that's why I try to give the information when I do talk about this stuff, because I feel like if you really tell males the truth about themselves, and then you also help them understand that they were born into a society that pretty much is false. All of us were born into a false society. It's just that men are not as adaptable and they can't handle the pressure the way that women can. And that's another reason why I don't feel like they should stay at home with the children, because it's a lot of pressure. I've heard men several times say that going to work and providing for a family is too much pressure. Do you really think they can sit at home with kids that are whining and crying all day, some of them, or trying to help them understand certain things or teach them is really something that some of them can do? Like I said, just going to work. Look at John List. He went to work, he lost his job, felt like he couldn't survive, and he just off his whole damn family because it was too much pressure.
But that wouldn't be. But that's what I'm saying. What you're making the point. To me that you're making my point, because if you remove the pressure of making money, then that wouldn't be an issue, right? You see what I'm saying?
But it would be an issue because there are other factors that are included in this whole situation.
But there wasn't though.
Not the only issue.
But there wasn't though. That was literally the issue, that in our society, right? We condition boys and men to be workhorses, to be cogs in the wheel of capitalism, right? And that's their sole purpose, and they beat it into the men. And then societally, we put that pressure on them, because pressure isn't biological, right? It's from society. So he had this pressure on him, put on him by his peers and so on and so forth, and by society. He's a white man, all this stuff, right? Then he loses his job, and we as a society tell men that is your identity, your job, right? We don't tell them it's you. We don't tell them it's your personhood. We say it's your job. You got to make money, right? So that those men can serve higher powers, i.e. the oligarchs or whatever. And then when he lost his identity, it broke him, and he unalived his family. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not understanding where you get in. I'm not getting biological anything in that scenario. I'm getting that we need to, like, if we got rid of money, this type of shit probably wouldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would men run around unaliving their families if we got rid of money? Like, for that reason, I'm not saying they wouldn't do it for any reason, but for that reason, they wouldn't do it, right? So that's one reason they wouldn't do it. Boom. That's not biological. Let's keep going. Like, I don't know. I'm just not, I'm not willing, because I just want to be clear. When I asked the question, I said, who knows the nature of men? People in the comments said scientists. They don't. They theorize they know the nature of men. They don't know the nature of human. They don't. We don't. I'm just being real. Y'all, we don't fucking know. Right? Now, I'm not saying these aren't educated guesses. I'm not saying they haven't done a study on any of this. I'm not saying there's no data on any of this. I'm just saying they don't know. That's all I'm saying. They don't know. And at this point, I'm unwilling to accept that it is mostly nature. We can't, it's just men are this way. We're hardwired this way or that way. Like, as soon as we start talking that, my eyes glaze over almost. Because it doesn't even make it, to me, it's like, what are we talking about? But biology definitely is a part of, it's biology, right? Biology plays a role, but it doesn't mean that it's the reason why. You see what I'm saying? Those are two totally different things. I'm biologically, I never
said it's the reason why. I just think that this discounting the facts about the male is an issue. It's not just social. It's not just biological. It's both. And that's the only thing I wanted to say, because I heard somebody earlier say something about it being social. I think it's both. That's how I personally feel. And yeah. But
I agree with that though too.
From being around men who were caretakers. Like I said, it may just be my experience.
No. I agree. I agree with you 100%. You know what? Real quick, because you know why? I'll give you an example. Even if you conditioned women, like let's say you condition women to be hyperviolent, right? Like the way that they condition men to be hyperviolent. It wouldn't work the same because of the side. You know what I'm saying? You know, because of the biology of men and women, right? Like it wouldn't work the same way. So yeah, women could be hyper violent, but like what, like they, you know, if men were to defend themselves, more than likely they would, win it. So I get that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I understand, like, biologically, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense to do that to socialize women to be hyper violent. It just doesn't make any sense. No doubt about it. But I'm just saying that the things that, like you mentioned the family annihilator guy and stuff like that. Like I said, like, that wasn't, to me, but you could say biologically, okay, cool. So he has testosterone, which makes him more aggressive, which could lead to him being violent. Yep, that's a part of it. But you can't change that. You can't change his testosterone and whatever. But the thing you can change is the pressure, like that you touched on, right? We can remove the pressures of society off of everybody, and now your testosterone and your whatever, you know what I'm saying, your aggressiveness could be you can have a different outlet for that, a healthier outlet, right? Or we could give people healthier outlets so that men aren't so fucking repressed and women aren't so repressed, right? So we could actually express ourselves when we're younger, and so you're not a freaking a kettle about to explode, right? Like but that, once again, you can, I guess what I'm saying is we can combat nature. I feel like I think because human beings, we have made it our business to manipulate nature. Like we're not supposed to be able to fly, but yeah, here we are flying. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not supposed to be able to travel at 300 miles an hour or 700, whatever it is. We're not supposed to be able to go to space, but here we are going to space, right? So yeah, I think we can do it. I definitely think we can do it. We just gotta, to your point though, we do just have to be more aware of like what's really going on. But I don't like, and it's not you, this is what you heard this too. When we have these discussions, especially specifically from like men, they'll be on that like, that's just the nature of man. Like, you'd be like, what? It's just natural. Like, women just supposed to, women just take care of kids and men go to work and men. And I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about? Who told you that? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like really careful with using that language. But you can go ahead, Madhavini.
I wanted to point out something really quick. When we bring up biology, like, biology doesn't necessarily revolve around like studying humans. It's like I feel like it's a small aspect of that. And as somebody that has taken biology, sociology, and psychology in college, we weren't talking about stuff like this in biology. Like, we were talking about blood types and genetics and the Punnett square. Conversations like this revolving around how society is structured, that was going on in my sociology class. I specifically remember discussion boards that I wrote. All the thing about gender roles, being more egalitarian, all that stuff, that is stuff that we talked about in sociology. We weren't necessarily, like, in biology, we weren't necessarily studying like human behavior, if that makes sense. That's why I said earlier, like, I feel like a lot of y'all try to like mix biology and sociology together, and y'all try to think of it as it's two different. Y'all think of it as like they're one and the same, and they're really not. And I really want people to stop like trying to push that like it's one and the same, because it's just not. Like, like I said before, we are not. Yes, I'm biologically able to reproduce as a woman. Yes. But as far as socialization, as far as like, I'm supposed to be a wife and a mom, that's socialization. That's not something that I'm biologically wired to do. I'm not biologically wired to do anything but reproduce. That's it. But as far as behaviors go, that's socialization. When you're socialized to think that you're only supposed to be a wife and a mom, and you're supposed to only do certain things as a woman, and this goes into that weird ass divine masculine and femininity.
That shit's always weird.
That y'all be bringing up, which is all of that stuff is just, it's weird, and it's giving like alt-right pipeline BS at the end of the day when y'all be talking about this stuff. Well, like, I'm not even gonna hold you, but I think we need to learn. We need to stop like mixing like the like the social sciences, life sciences, we need to stop like getting those mixed up. That's the whole point of me bringing that up in the first place. Like in this day and age, like everything that we're doing, yeah, biology has a tiny part to do it with it, but for the most part, a lot of this is like this is sociological like factors that are coming into play on like how we even behave and how we act, and you can even bring psychology into it to a certain extent.
You know what's crazy? I don't know. Never mind. I'm not even saying that. Let me read these super chats. Siobhan said, the last thing I do is leave my precious cargo at home with the man, knowing they are impatient and inattentive. No way I would risk it for a social experiment. If my baby falls off the couch because you're playing around, what was the rest of that? Because you're playing around. Read the what mail. I didn't hear what she said. The fragile male. That's what you said in My Divinity, right? The fragile male ego, or what was the book again, or the article?
It's not a book. It's just an article. If you go to Google and type in The Fragile Male by Sebastian Kramer. And here's the thing, what I'm trying to say public.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make anybody upset with what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, if you just don't understand certain concepts and you want to try to refute something that these scientists have went to school for, and there are several books about this stuff, I don't understand why it can't. I'm not going to say why it can't be looked at. I don't understand why there's such a push to make it seem like men's behavior is only simply societal conditioning. That's not just what it is. But at the same time, though, I understand that people don't really like to read certain things that go outside of the scope of what they feel like the issue is. So I'm just going to say that I said what I said. I'm not here to argue with anybody. I'm just letting y'all know that when we get to the issue of talking about whether it's society or biological, it's not either or. It is most definitely both. It's really just that simple.
I can see that. I mean, I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that. Yeah, I agree with that. My sister's husband violated his own daughter, all three places, before she was 1 until 3 to 4, and we think he messed with their son also. God, dog. Her take on this is quite sexist, internalized misogyny. Who was that for? GV based on attraction. I'm a teacher and I disagree with what you read. Both boys and girls can learn. Some may need accommodations to put them in a level playing field. Greed and ego are still the nature of man. Started somewhere. No, greed and ego is not the nature of man. Y'all throwing that word nature around a lot.
I wanted to point out, like, really quick, when it comes to us talking about like learning styles and this whole narrative that like men gotta be like hands-on with certain things, like I don't necessarily think that's true, because everybody's learning style is different. Like everybody's learning style is based on their own like personal like preference. There isn't no one learning style that's like suited for men and one that's suited for women. And to be very honest, like most of us don't have just one learning style that we stick to. Some of us have hybrid learning styles. Like I'm a very like visual. I know in school, like I was a very like visual learner. Like I needed to see like PowerPoint presentations with notes on it. And then also for me to better retain information, like I also had to like write it down and take notes and highlight stuff and do all those other things. But then also depending on whatever else I'm doing, I'm better learning stuff like hands-on. But then it also with other things, like I'm also better learning things just by reading. So It's not just like men gotta be very hands-on and women want to sit in the classroom for this amount of hours. Like that sounds like to me that sounds stupid to even imply that, because even when I was in college, like I really didn't like sitting in lecture, especially when the professor just be talking and not engaging in conversation. Like to me, that's boring. Like you're better off just giving me PowerPoint slides and letting me learn information on my own. So everybody has their own personal like learning preference. That's just something that person has to discover. Like that's what they have to discover on their own. There isn't like an either or. Like some people have like hybrid learning styles. So that's why I just wanted to point out.
GV based on attraction said the lady you were talking to that just spewed patriarchal and white supremacist rhetoric and she didn't realize it. She didn't realize it. I think she was talking to my divinity, but yeah. Yeah, man. It's definitely, yeah. I'm gonna read that thing. No, I'm gonna read the Fragile Ego. I wrote it down. This time I'll remember it. I'm interested in it. Oh, well, Sebastian Kramer, right? You said I wrote.
Yeah, The Fragile Male by Sebastian Kramer.
Yeah, man.
Ask him to let me up real quick. My sister said she wanted to say something.
Okay.
Go ahead, Quinn. Here you go. That. So, I don't know who the lady is that's talking about the learning style, but what it seems like is you're not taking into account a few things, which is social engineering, again, person's upbringing, trauma, emotional intelligence. We know based off neurological science that once someone does something habitually, that is a hardwired pattern. So again, even in your learning styles, you have to decondition before you recondition. There has to be a stabilization that even occurs. So on the topic that you guys were talking about, which I overheard, is having the man in the home. Now, if you're talking about quote unquote healed, mental health, self-aware, cognitive male, that's different than taking the person who has not yet worked on themselves and then placing them in the home with children. So I think that's something that should be looked at. And I don't know if you guys touch base on that. I'm just overhearing eavesdropping low key. Mm-hmm. But again, to me, I feel like that's a point that I keep hearing this learning style come up. But at the same time, it's almost the nurture versus nature. And when she said, again, I'm a woman, I can reproduce. But sweetheart, you can't say that you're just a woman. A woman is not just having this child and then, I'm done with it. That's not how that works. There is a emotional attachment, a physical attachment. And again, you automatically have those neurologically hardwired responses to that child. Now, if you're not mentally balanced, there could be the, oh my God, I don't want this baby, or postpartum. There are several different conditions that could alter that. But it's not just, I'm a woman, I'm capable of having a baby, but that's where it stops, in my opinion.
Did you want to respond, Shani?
I mean, none of that has anything to do with like what I meant about like learning styles. At the end of the day, it's like a personal preference that you develop as you get older. And obviously when you pursue additional, education post high school, like it's obviously going to change. So I don't really even have much to say on that other than it's a personal preference that obviously for me changed because I like went to college and kind of figured out my
learning style.
My learning style because I was in pretty much like a different environment where I was in charge of like maintaining my schedule in my studies. So I had to figure that out for myself as far as like learning style and what my own personal preference is.
And sometimes it's just based on attraction.
We're gonna get some shirts because I'm ready to rep based on attraction.
Hey, Boa on the way, man. I'm meeting with my guy next week. Don't worry about it. I got the boas on the way.
Make sure that they purple and white.
You know, purple my favorite color. I'm gonna come with some purple. Don't worry about it. We gonna come with some purples. But hey, yeah, let's move around a little bit. I like that conversation, but that's but what'd you say?
Yeah, I wanted to get back to the prompt. I think my bad. I had my pediatrician call about my baby.
No personals. No personal.
No personals. Okay. Anyways, but yeah, so essentially, I think what we do, and I think we all do it as a whole, we kind of try to lean on this scientific stuff and the sociology to explain why men are the way they are, because we just can't believe they that deficient, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I be. That's what I be thinking. I'm like, you're not about to tell me that we just like y'all just it's in your DNA. I'm like, no, it's not. We just trash. Like, trust me, we can get up out of this if we need to, though. Y'all tripping.
And sometimes I think it makes people feel better if there is something. It's kind of like, is God real? Like it feels better to find the tangible thing or the reason to attach to it so that you can prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is the reason why this exists, men are this way, etc. Like, so you need a concrete something, right?
Yeah.
And I think because of that, we've lost the plot of, like you said, men just need to be better people.
We got to be better.
We just like we all sit in a classroom. And it does tie into what Shawnee said, because you'll have 20 kids in that classroom and they will all have different learning styles. However, they're all being taught the same curriculum. So it is still important that they learn that curriculum. They're not going to change the curriculum to fit these 20 kids. The kids' learning styles need to pretty much circle around this curriculum so that they can get it on their individual basis, right? So when we say that men grew up in the same projects as a woman, but on the same token, men will say, I didn't get certain opportunity. I didn't get to go to college, blah, blah, blah. But then you'll have a woman that grew up in the projects that made it out, went to college, turned her life around, etc.
Not a Saya, though.
Right. Listen. But she won't spend the rest of her life blaming it on her hood. He will. And again, it just boils down to individualism and some the excuses we sometimes make as to why we can't do certain things. If you a man and you ain't never learned how to change a diaper, you ain't never fixed no formula, whatever the case may be, there are classes for that. There are books. You have to sometimes seek out the knowledge, find the material, just kind of like you did, public. Like things you don't know. It's kind of like that book, the one that they're talking about. Men are
from Mars, women are from Venus.
And then there's another book called Men Are Waffles, Women Are Spaghetti, talking about the emotional makeup of men versus women. And I said, for that to be true, for men to be waffles and everything is concrete this and concrete that, why y'all don't read manuals and instructions? Why y'all don't seek out information? I
don't like that shit. Last time I read a manual, I broke out in hives. That shit, I don't think I'm allergic to that shit, man. I got two bumps on my elbow. I was like, I gotta put this shit down. So I stopped reading the manual at that point.
That's what happened last time I did packing boxes. I had to go to urgent care because my face swelled up.
Damn, that must have been some.
I had no personals, but I had welts all up my arms and shit all over my body. But yeah, so long story that's short, I think it's up to each individual. Like, instead of men, because y'all say y'all the leaders, instead of you saying what you aren't capable of doing or what you don't know how to do, or deferring to the woman to do certain things because you don't want to be bothered with it, how about you seek out that information? How about you invest in yourself and learn these skills?
Because
that will make you a more efficient leader.
But also with men, we're conditioned to think if there's no punishment, then if there's no definitely direct, consequences, negative consequences to doing something, then why do it? Right? Like, I've literally talked to men. I remember when I used to be vegan and vegetarian and all that type of shit, and I'll be talking to men about eating better and oh, you got to stop drinking, you got to stop smoking, and this is just I'm talking my peoples about the shit, the benefits, in health. And they would say stuff like, "You gonna die one day," and ain't no bacon ain't never killed me, stuff like that, right? And you just like, all right, like it's just for men a lot of times that we don't see like an instant like, oh, you do that, you unalive, you do that, you did, and even then sometimes we still weighing like, I don't know, because I'd rather have sex without a condom on because it feels better. You know what I mean? Like, men are very impulsive, right? So that's unfortunate, and we're really entitled. So you mix all that stuff in together. I mean, it's a recipe for disaster, man. At this point, and yeah, I'm sure they play a lot on our natural aggressiveness and all of that type of shit, and they trump it up, and yeah, you got to go get them over there and do all that shit. Oh yeah, we got to go get them, but you could like not do that. You could we could just like not teach men to be that way, and I think that the majority of men wouldn't be that way. Of course, there are going to be some men that are like that, but I think those men would get ostracized. There are Facebook groups dedicated to two parents who need. Oh, they cut off. Let me read the super chat real quick, and I got to read that Cash App. If not for his nature, when, why, and how did the first trash man become such before he started influencing the rest of society? I'm truly curious. If you think that jealousy started in a man, that's a wild, it's a wild take. If you think that anger started with men, wild take. If you think violent, like, no, it's not. It didn't. I don't think that it started in a man, or I don't know who. I just think it started in people. I think this is just shit that happens in people. I think anger is a human reflex to certain things. I think that jealousy is a human reflex to certain things. I don't fucking know. At this point, it's irrelevant to ask who did what. The better, to me, the question is not, that's not the issue. The issue is that how the men who was like, hey, I'm going to start like a movement so I can hoard resources. Like that's really the, you know what I'm saying? Like that's really the thing we got to focus on. Like why, but then we could talk about the biology of it. I think a lot of that is rooted in like, okay, because men at the end of the day can physically overpower women. Right? Like if there was ever like just like a heads up fight, you know what I'm saying? Like between the two groups, generally speaking, men would win that fight, right? Okay. I think that played the biggest role in it, but that's the biology. That's the part that I'm willing to accept about biology. You see what I'm saying? Like, but do I think that if women were bigger and stronger that maybe they would? I don't fucking know. It just seems like some human shit. It seems like there's a small group of people who are very greedy and sociopathic and don't give a fuck about anybody. And they want to hoard power and resources and things of that nature, and they convinced a lot of other people, to do so, right? And a lot of them did it, but at the time they probably did it because they was bigger or they were more cunning or whatever the case may be. But however they did it, they did it. They figured out how to do it. They figured out how to execute it, right? And they did it. And they convinced. All you got to do to make I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think people understand that it's not like you have to get everybody to be greedy to uphold capitalism. It's not like you have to get everybody to be violent to go to war. You know what I'm saying? Like it just takes like a certain amount of people. It just takes like you know what I mean? Like it's weird, man. It's weird. I get it. But I think it's really what Kay said. We really got into this place where people are really struggling to understand why men are the way that we are. And we are literally just like it gotta be, it's God, it's nature, it's divine, it's divine. All right, if you want to believe that, you got it. I ain't gonna argue with you. But trying to convince me of that is that's like trying to convince me that God is real. It's like this to me. It's like the same thing. Like it's at this point, you know what I'm saying? Like at this point, I'm like, I don't know. It's not adding up for me at all. Go ahead, Brie.
Okay, I don't know either. I'm not going to say that it's possible or impossible. I'm not going to say that it's nurture versus nature. I'm going to say any of that. I'm just going to say what it'll take. What it'll take for men to be successful at being a stay-at-home dad.
A potion.
No.
According to these people, it's taking. According to the people that believe this, like if you believe at this point, I'm like, what do you think it's gonna take? You think it's gonna take like a poke where we like
I don't know, but
poison men and get their testosterone out of them and shit? Like, what the fuck are we saying? Like, what are we talking about? Go ahead.
What it will take is for men to be able to learn from women. There we go. Men will actually have to listen to women. That's fucked up. Men will actually have to believe women. Men will actually have to see us as an authoritarian on a particular subject. In this case, it'll be taking care of kids and taking care of a home. Those are all three things that we struggle with. If men were at least 30% good at that, you wouldn't have a platform. Let's be honest. We can't even get men to believe us when we're being SA'd. That's just, and it costs them nothing. It costs them nothing to believe our testimony. But you want us to believe that they're willing to learn from us? Have you ever seen a man have you ever seen a woman try to show a man how to feed a baby with a spoon? It's like, I want to learn like that. I mean, just teaching a man on how to literally feed his own child. Women know what that's like. Let's say, women know how hard it is for us to teach their husband how to take care of their child. That shit's hard as hell. And a lot of it goes down to literally they feel inadequate when a woman has to teach them something. And then what happens with inadequacy? They have to make the level playing equal again. And what is that? That is a power struggle. What does power struggles lead to? Violence. So again, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm just saying, if you having a hard time getting men to believe that women are being SA'd by high alarming rates, if you're having a hard time getting men to believe that women are not the problem when it comes to the dating market and that men need to take responsibility and accountability, your entire channel is trying to get men to listen and believe women. That's, I don't see how, that's just hard. It's gonna be hard.
I gotta read this comment because this be the weird shit I be talking about. American Goddess said he has a platform because women won't listen to men. In what world don't women listen to men?
Thank you. This is what I be talking about.
Ain't she selective hearing example of somebody that listened to? You know what?
This is why they say pick-me's are dangerous.
In what world do women not listen to men? Like they literally, whether women want to listen to men or not, they gotta listen to men. Like that's the funny part about it. Because y'all could think men is like, I know more than this man, whatever. Like I'm sure that happens all the time, but you still gotta listen though. Because why? There's repercussions to it if you don't. Most of the time.
I'm glad that American Goddess is in the chat because you should be very happy that I was not allowed up on the panel when you were there yesterday. Because here's what I did clock. I clocked the fact that when you jumped up on the panel and they were having a discussion, your first thing was, do you believe that women are afraid to walk out in public because of men? This is what I clocked about you. You didn't come up to defend men. You came up to offend women. You have a problem with women. It's your internalized misogyny that's showing the most. Because it wasn't even about no one said that women had a problem with men. They just said that, do we believe that men should pay for dates? And your behind went straight for, y'all women are hysterical. I mean, you made a whole case about how you feel like women are should not, you know what I mean? Like, y'all
I'm sorry, what did I say?
So,
you have
you're up. Good. Yeah, so this is what I wanted you to know. When you came up on the panel yesterday.
One at a time.
When you came up on the panel yesterday, the topic was talking about whether or not men should pay for their first dates or not. Your first response was, so do you feel like men should have to pay to get to know someone? They didn't answer that question. Then you turned it around and was like, so you believe that women are more afraid, are too afraid to leave the house And when you were talking about, with your husband, he took me. I'm almost finished. And when you came up and was talking about, my husband took me to the pool, and that was for free. The conversation had nothing to do with whether the date should cost any money. What they said was, if it did, who would be covering it? You're not listening. The only thing that you want to come up, I'm not upset. I'm speaking passionate. Please don't tone police me. Don't do that, because I'm not upset. So this is, and why are you interrupting? It's because you want to silence me, because what I'm saying actually makes sense.
2 minutes to get to your point.
Who's to say?
It's okay, y'all. Hold on. Wait. Come on, y'all. Let Bree, please, let Bree land her plane. She was almost done. It wasn't like she wasn't making sense. Let her get to her destination.
My goddamn bitch, you just got here.
God damn.
So, yeah, that's the frustration. The frustration is that when it comes to women and their concern, if the only way for you to debunk the concern is by debunking whether women are credible or not, shows that it's not the issue with the claim, it's the fact that I'm complaining at all. And that's where your stance was at, and that's where it comes down to how it's not the fact that men are not capable of learning. They are. The problem is that in order for men to learn from women, they actually have to see them as credible witnesses to their own testimony, which you also have a problem with accepting. And now I land my plane. You may speak.
Okay, hold on. Before you do that, before you do, I'm gonna let you go. Let me read this super chat real quick because I got to read those. Ariel said, "I didn't say anything that you just said, Pub. You stated before that all problems stem from men. I do. I agree with that. Name a problem that didn't start with a man. I agree. That's where my question stemmed from. Oh, okay. Maybe I misinterpreted it. They do though. I'm not saying a man started, but I'm saying like the actual like systems of oppression, the structures, so on and so forth. That's more what I'm talking about. I don't know who was the first person, to be greedy though. You know what I mean? I think that's just like a human. I don't think that's a man thing or a woman thing. I think that's just like a human thing. I think any human is capable of being greedy. Go ahead, American Goddess.
Thank you, Public, and hopefully you're having a good day.
I am. Same to you.
Good. I just think it's weird. Like, I'm a random woman on TikTok just stating my opinion, and I think it's just weird how my opinion just makes you so angry.
Who?
Not you.
Oh. Other people.
Girl who was talking.
I don't think she was angry.
Her name is Bree. That's angry. She says
my name is Bree.
Yeah,
and
she
passion.
You're
just like if you don't like, and exactly just how this makes you feel is exactly how you made.
Hold on, y'all. I can only hear one. But go ahead. I don't think Bree was angry. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think she was. But go ahead.
I know you don't.
I mean, it's fair. We just applying angry to people.
She says it's passion. I know anger when I see it. I know bitterness when I see it.
You do?
Passion. You
how does a random woman on TikTok just stating that I don't have trauma, how does that really make you angry or passionate or whatever you say? Why does that cause an emotional response to you?
You think that's what you think that's what made her respond like that? You think that was
she just said it was frustrating. So how is my opinion frustrating?
I think she laid it all out for you though. You don't that's what you got from what she was saying?
And I think it's weird.
Why?
She doesn't know me. Why would she let my opinion get her to that point?
Do you think words are meaningful and powerful? Do you think they can be?
They can be. I don't let others do that, but it's weird that she's allowing me to.
No. I'm just wait. I'm just okay. So words are powerful, right? They can be, and they.
I have a lot of power. That means if I have a lot of power, if whatever she says, it doesn't affect me. I'm calm.
Yeah.
But my words affect her. That means I have a lot of power.
What if your words didn't only?
Wait a minute.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. What if your words didn't only affect her? What if your words? What if your words affect women in general, like as a group?
Like what words?
Like you constantly like coddling men and running cover for dangerous men and dangerous concepts and ideas.
people don't see is I get cussed out by the men who run lives about bashing women.
Okay.
I get cussed out on those lives. Well, I don't get cussed out. They're a little bit nicer than the women, but they tell me, but I know I do speak, but your platform only talks about men. So like I'm very unbiased.
Do you think you're unbiased?
Women think I don't speak up for women. I'm a woman. I do speak up for them, but they don't see it and they get really angry just because I call out bad behavior.
What makes you think you're unbiased? Like you got to realize that that's kind of a weird statement to make when people say they're unbiased. Cause I'm like, who isn't biased? Like, what do you mean?
Biased. That's projection. If you're biased, then that's you. I'm not sure what
you
have going on.
I think what you're missing, what I'm saying is that there's an implicit bias that we all have, first and foremost. So whether you want to be, whether you know what I mean, whether it like we all are having implicit bias, right? So first, that's what I'm saying. So for a person to say I'm not, like definitively, like I'm not biased, you know what I'm saying? Like I think that's.
Do you think since the other day and today, do you think I've ever been disrespectful?
I won't say you. I do. I think you were being.
My opinion, and people are attacking me because of my opinion.
I think you were being disrespectful when you came up on the panel and you started jump. I'm gonna tell you. I think you were being disrespectful today and yesterday when you got in the box, and I'm telling you right now, and you got in the box and you instantly started cutting people off and talking. I think that was pretty rude.
Okay, I'm disrespectful for cutting people off, but and you're a booty protector. Have I attacked anyone personally?
No.
You can say I'm disrespectful because I cut. Have you been attacked personally?
No, I don't think that's what I'm saying. You just asked me how were you being disrespectful.
Your followers to get this angry at me just because I'm saying my opinion.
Why are they
angry?
Hold on.
Angry is weird.
Look, first of all, it's very dismissive and reductive to refer to these people as my followers. They're their own people. I mean, they follow a bunch of people. Are they everybody else's? Bree, how many people do you follow on this app? Hundreds, thousands?
Okay,
you see what I'm saying? Like they're not my followers. They just follow me. I think that's there's implications in saying that though. You understand what I'm saying? So no, they're not my followers. Bree is her own person. Also, that's what I'm saying.
The women in here.
Yeah, the people in here. And because it ain't even just the women that are clocking it, men are clocking it too. The men that are in here are clocking it too. So I don't think that I think it's very that you are being rude and dismissive, like you're doing right now. You're being rude and dismissive, and you could say it.
How am I being rude right now in this conversation? How am I being rude?
Because you just they paid to drop you again.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I was going. Came. GV based on attraction strikes again.
The thing of it is, I wonder why they think that it is offensive or some type of a dig to say that their words are powerful enough to bring up concern or an emotion. That's how words are supposed to work. If you're able to say things and not evoke any type of emotion in a person, that means people think that means you don't mean anything. That means you don't have inherent value. The reality of it is, no, I'm not emotional. I am, not compassionate, but passionate. However, you should be happy that you saying something, especially in front of an audience, that there is somebody who emotionally connects to it, whether it be good or bad. That's not a dig on me. I'm actually a human being. I heard what you said. I took it in. Just because I disagree with it does not mean that I shouldn't be able to internalize the words that come out of your mouth. You are a person. I respect your personhood. I respect your humanity. So what you say, actually, I absorb it. That's not a dig on me, that I'm empathetic to what you're saying and how what you're saying affects women. That's insane. How is that a dig?
She was spraying water and everybody got wet, and she was like, "Oh, well, you should just stay dry." Like, no, you said that shit. You said was like your words mean your word.
Caring about you means that you are valued. You are valued. Just you by yourself, even though your opinion is trashed. You as a person are valued enough to where the words that came out of your mouth connected to someone miles and miles away from you, and it invoked in a response in me. You should be proud and happy of that.
even if you don't agree. So we need to cut that shit out. She argues like a man, and that shit is not attractive.
Hey,
not for nothing,
hold on.
just
Gendered
because you
arguments
say-
is crazy.
but here's the thing. Here's the thing. You've said this before, and it's intent versus impact, right?
Mhm.
So even if you're calm and you sound like a fucking sociopath when you're speaking to people because you're talking like this,
That doesn't mean
does
anything.
not mean that you're not being rude
Yeah.
and cutting people to the white meat.
I don't care if you yell or not. I'm all right. Like Bree,
saying.
I'm cool with the passion. As long as it's warranted, then do it. It seemed like it was fair. It didn't seem out of place. It didn't seem like, you know, she was just turning up for no reason. She was just, I get passionate all the time. I dare one of y'all mothers to be like, you take some of that. You can go. You can leave. That's fine. Like, we not.
But and then here's another thing. Word to the wise. Just etiquette. When you come onto a TikTok panel, treat it like you're coming into someone's house. Do you just walk up in somebody's house and start talking while they're mid-conversation? Do you just walk up to your coworkers and say, hey, Debbie, while Debbie's talking to John? No, you don't. Show some social grace. And you talk about how ladylike you are and all this other stuff and how this is why I have a husband and this is why I got picked and blah, blah, blah. But you don't have no fucking manners.
You got everything but manners. Hold on, Bree. Hold on, Bree. Let me read these. I got super chats I got to read. And Allie said, this lady fucked for some Oscar Mayer wieners. Oh man. GV based on attraction said this for American got his head. I don't have the bandwidth today. That's what she said when she dropped her. Ariel, I hear you. I think I read both of those. Yep. All right, yeah. Damn. Yeah, man.
Thank you, Big Money cousin. Thank you, Big Money GV based on attraction. But I just want to say this real quick, and I'm so glad that we're on this right now because her behavior is indicative of why pick-me's are not chosen as much. Yes, she's married, but we can't attest for that marriage and what that's like. I'm just saying the majority of women who think and behave like her aren't chosen, and here's why. It's because they're emotionally unregulated, which is why they believe men should be more logical than women. They don't want to take responsibility. But more than often, it's not because they're not misogynistic because they love men. They're not misogynistic because they care and support men. They're misogynistic because they don't like women. They're internalized. That's all that it is. It's not because she thinks men are better and greater or none of that. It's literally because she just has an issue with women. I don't know if it's her mama. I don't know if it's her aunties, friends, best. I don't know what the hell's happened to her. I don't know if it's because her father passed away and her mom didn't fill in. I don't know what. All I know is that the majority of the time, their support toward men is only because of their vitriol toward women. Because how she handles the women on this time. Because if y'all clocked it, when she's interrupting, it's always interrupting a woman.
Nah.
She don't interrupt public as often.
Oh, I was gonna say she definitely was interrupting me, but not as often. I give you not as often.
She interrupted me. I was the one talking on the panel yesterday, and she just come up and start talking. And y'all know how I am when I be on these panels. Like, I had to tell her, like, hold up, like, don't you hear me talking? Like, are you stupid or are you dumb? Like, what are you doing?
Yep. I see. I remember that. They saying she a minor. Sounds like it to me.
I really hate when y'all come up on these panels trying to say somebody angry. You're the one up here being passive aggressive and can't say shit with your chest. If you're gonna come up here and try to have conversations with us, you better stand 10 toes down in your stuff. Otherwise, keep that shit on the playground.
If I'm angry,
coming up here being passive aggressive, then try to say somebody being angry. No, you lack the range to have the conversation that we were having yesterday and today, which you proved the point. You didn't even come up here to speak on the topic, nor did you really do it yesterday. Because when I started asking you more in-depth questions, now all of a sudden it's, I feel so attacked, like everybody's attacking me. Because you simple-minded, and I can tell the moment I started asking you further questions, your brain started malfunctioning. So don't come up here trying to talk about like you triggering somebody. Can't nobody that lack critical thinking and analysis skills, you can't come up here and trigger me. Trigger me for what? If anybody was getting mad, it was you.
I wanna ask the question. Explain her then. If it's nature, explain American Goddess.
I think she's trolling. He just like racial self-defense comes up there and says wild stuff to get people's emotions going. I think this is maybe her online shtick. Maybe it's a bit. Am I reading it wrong? Because it's so outlandish that it can't be real.
I believe everything she says. She believes it. That's it. That's wishful thinking, Wasabi. I believe that woman believe everything she's saying to us. Yeah, you giving her too much credit. Don't do that. I believe everything she says. She believe that shit in real life. Ain't no why not. It could be but to be fair, can two things be true at the same time? Yeah, absolutely. She could be also, you know what I mean, saying the shit that she whatever to like antagonize people, but I also think she believes it. I don't think like when she ain't on the microphone, she's like woman powered. You know what I mean? Like, of course not. She really believes this shit. No doubt about it. So yeah, I don't know, man.
If she really believes it, that's terrifying. I really just came up here to say all the ladies on the panel are gorgeous and wonderful, and I love being here listening to you guys. You guys are wonderful. Now that I got an opportunity to say that, I'm gonna drop.
Thanks, Wasabi. Hey, and y'all can remove her from the equation, right? Just explain all the pick-me's. If it's not social engineering, explain all the pick-me's.
She's a bona fide pookie protector.
But explain the pick-me's though. Explain the pick-me's though. To me, I'm saying, like, help me understand it. If it's because that's not the nature of women. Like explain the pick-me's. Because I need to know that. Because I don't. That's the thing I think where I see it. I'm like, so with the women is conditioning, but with the men is just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like it's.
I feel like pygmies were raised by other pygmies.
100%. What the fuck?
It's hereditary. It's hereditary.
Oh man.
I agree. I feel and this is why I try my hardest to have grace with pygmies, because I'm a reformed pygmy. I mean, and every day I have to do some pygmy deconstruction, so I get it. But like I said, and I say this all the time, pygmyism is a fawn response. How was it? Oh no. Pygmyism is the fear response to patriarchy. It is the fawn response. They have to get along to play along. They have to play along to get along. And I feel like that, and it becomes a part of their character as soon as it starts to work for them as little as humanly possible. But the reality of it is, I believe that women who actually have a love for men deconstruct from pygmyism because we understand how much it actually hurts them. And it's like a double-edged sword. Any woman who is a pygmy, you can't care about men. I don't care what anybody says. You cannot give a damn about the development and the empowerment of men as long as you coddle them. Period. I gotta read the super chat. Erica said, "Damn, I just got here. What happened?" This woman, American Goddess, came up here. She basically got into a discussion with one of the panelists, Bree, and Bree just aired out some stuff that she said yesterday, and American Goddess accused Bree of being rude or mad, which I don't think Bree was being mad at all. And and then I started talking to her, and then GV, based on attraction, paid to drop her. And also American Goddess said, y'all been hurt by pookies. I was hurt by a pookie. My dad. I don't have any shame in admitting that I was hurt by somebody. I don't know if that's a shaming tactic to admit that you were hurt by somebody else, because I'm not ashamed to admit that somebody hurt me. What the fuck did I do? where did I go wrong in this situation? Like, what? That girl, shut up. You busted it open for some swimming lessons.
For free. That's good for you, American Goddess. That's good. That's good.
Can I say something? I'm sorry.
You can also pay to come back up. I know you said you would never, but here you are, still talking. Go ahead, Allie.
I just came up here to do some mod duties and just say my little 2 cents. Y'all, we are still not at 100K. We've been in here for a little while. If y'all could just tap the screen, double tap if you can, that would be great. Miss American Goddess, I'm going to whisper because I'm on the phone with member services. So I'm going to just say this. You can pay to come up, but I know you don't want to hurt your daddy pocket, so just ask for $50 instead of the 100, because I know you like to go 50-50. But it is wild to me. It is wild to me that you keep coming back here, girl, if you got all the goods and the gold.
Nah, I want her to come back. First of all, American Goddess, come back tomorrow if you want to. You can come back up on the panel anytime you want to, as long as they don't pay the drop. If they pay the drop, you got to sit down there until you pay to come back up.
Her pocket, she said that she like going 50-50.
I mean,
go ask him. I know he in the living room. Go ask him at least for the $50, and then I know you got the $50. And then you put it together and put it to be $100. Then you can just send it real quick, and we'll listen to you about 5 more minutes before somebody else drops it.
That's the thing. Haters come back tomorrow. I don't know. Y'all know my motto. It ain't. I don't be asking why. I ask, why don't y'all come back sooner? Why don't y'all come back more often? Why don't y'all come up here every day? Because it's fun up here.
Where is your man? He around the corner.
He here somewhere.
A voice from him though. But you be safe though.
Osa said, ain't no way she's happily married. She sounds miserable. She hates women. And man, I don't be wanting to put that on people, man. Until she tell me otherwise, that woman happy.
She said she won't pay to come back up.
Yeah, that's what she told me yesterday. She was like, I would never. I said, okay.
Baby, tell her big money husband, guys.
I told her, Daddy got it. Daddy got it. Go around and go, Daddy. Christina.
Oh my God. Getting called big money gonna have me punching the air every time if somebody really call me that in real life. That's some highly disrespectful shit. Big money, I ain't doing nothing for you ever again. You ain't got to worry about this money no more. Get the fuck up out of here. Oh, man. Imagine paying for a nigga dinner or like paying a nigga away to like a game or something. You be like, oh, I see you, big money. Oh, yeah. Nah. Hey, he got it. He got it. He can pay for his own shit. He's straight.
Yeah, but it's just so annoying hearing them argue because they never stay on topic. Like, we never actually got to the discussion at her, like, we never got her opinion on whether or not she believes that women should pay for the first date or not. It was just completely derailed, and that's what happens with with people who identify with their type of thinking or talking points. Mm-hmm. We can never get a clear. Like yesterday, there was this one guy you were asking him like, does gaining women or the attention of women help you level up your social
mm-hmm.
Right? And he was like, okay, so which one do you think men will really want, or which one gets social capital up more, a man with money or a man with women? And what frustrates me about the whole conversation is that wasn't the discussion at first. The discussion was, does it or does it not raise a man's social, social status? This is the problem. They understand that I can't debunk. They understand that they can't debunk any of our talking points, so they would rather discredit you, which is the reason why when she came up, the only thing she kept saying was, "Why are you so upset?
Yeah.
Why are you so upset?" Not actually saying that you cannot itemize anything that I said and then debunk each one. No. You had to come from me, and that's what that just shows a lack of integrity, a lack of intelligence, and a lack of insight as a person in general when they argue like that. Like, you see how I'm talking? I talk like this all the time.
Yep.
And I get tired of being tone police because of, the way I express myself. It could be a number of reasons, but it never is somebody on this goddamn app. I can tell you that much.
Hold on. Y'all been talking about me for 20 minutes. American Goddess, you still in here. That's why we talking about you still in here. I'm not telling you to leave. I'm just saying, like, why do you just like the antagonize? We not stupid. We not dumb, right? No, you might not know that. You might actually think we are dumb. We're not dumb. You're in here. You like it. But I like it too.
Talk behind people bite. Okay, we stand 10 toes in that shit.
Yeah, I like talking. But you know what? I know I got something wrong with me. I prefer to talk to people. I prefer to talk to people's faces. I know a lot of people, you know, there's people who like, they don't, oh, I don't want to talk. I don't really want no smoke and all that stuff. And I get it. I don't think they weenified or nothing like that. I think that's perfectly, you know, that's perfectly reasonable. But not me. I'm going to turn up every time. I like talking to people. I like telling people what I think about them. I don't know what that, I don't know. I think I'm like I think I got like a touch of autism, like a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that is, that part of the autism, I got a little bit of that. And I don't want to say it because I ain't on the spectrum, but I got a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? That social where I don't got that, like, I don't got that shit in me. Like, if I don't like you.
Might be if you was diagnosed public, you just never know.
No, I'm not autistic. Trust me, I'm wrong.
You ADHD.
I'm ADHD like a motherfucker, but I ain't autistic. I'm not. But yeah, but yeah, man, that neurodivergence for me, that shit is, I got that shit back. It's bad because I don't know how to hide it. If I don't like you, I don't know how to hide it. I just, you know what I'm saying? I would rather, you know, I really don't fuck with you like that. And we could like kind of still be cool. You know, if that makes sense. Like there's like all these dudes I'll be talking to on here, I ain't cool with none of them. Like really, for real, right? Y'all know how, but as long as you like keep it like reasonably respectful, I ain't about to sit here and be on some like start a hate campaign against you or nothing like that. It's just like, I don't fuck with you. I don't like you like that, man. We're not gonna really be friends, you know, but we could be cordial, right? Like at work. What up, Vanity?
Howdy. I'm just here to answer the prompt.
Please.
I have known 3 stay-at-home fathers, and they were freaking excellent. Men should totally do it. And when I say excellent, I mean like they were doing like homeschooling shit, preparing meals, keeping the house, like doing all the things that everybody keeps saying is supposed to be, you know.
Women's. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like anybody who has a vagina is supposed to naturally. So they must have had some secret pocket pussies because honestly, the way they took care of their kids, the kids, 2 of them actually knew like 2 languages because they went to Farsi school. So it was English and Farsi and Spanish. My bad, 3 languages. When I tell you the kids thrive. They would do like those 3 dads, and it was 3 like they didn't know each other. It was 3 separate things, right? But they were excellent. So yeah, like more men should do that. You know, they were supporting their wives who are out there doing big girl career things and like, you know, doing shit with their businesses and everything like that. Like they were doing all the things that they keep swearing up and down that they want, but they took on those roles. And like it was stellar, right? Like on like, you know how you're always saying you just want dudes just like level up to like what, you know, their wife is. Those 3 dudes did it. They didn't go above and beyond what a woman would do.
No.
I ain't saying that.
No.
I'm gonna say they met that level. And the kids are beautiful. They're doing like great and everything like that. So yes, more men should definitely be stay-at-home fathers. If the mother is going to be better at it, then you know she should be the one doing it. If the man's going to be better at it, he should be the one doing it.
I think 8 times out of 10, the woman's going to be better at it. But I also think, but Vanity, I don't know if you was there earlier. I also think that women are better at making money than men are.
That part I 100% believe because when because the women who are making the money, like they're out there making the money. When I say like they launched businesses and you know are running charities, and like they were like they were doing the stuff that you know men keep beating the chest on this app and saying that they're doing, but we know they're not. Like those women were doing that kind of shit, and the dudes who were supporting them, yeah. So, yeah, like men, you need to get in touch with your feminine side and start doing some of that work.
6 cents, man. It's about time you come on up. We can have that. I like that question. That's a question right on. We need to address that right now. We can have that discussion. Come on up, brother.
Low Felicia's in here too. Low Felicia's been yapping.
King Low in here. What King Low been yapping about? I ain't seen King Low. on the panel not saying nothing in a long time.
But public,
Go ahead.
you told me this. What you told me, these are your words. Some people are better at doing life than others.
Absolutely.
So maybe, just maybe, women is better at doing life than me.
They are. That's not even maybe. What the fuck? No doubt about it. I will put a stamp on that. That's 100% factual. That's proven by science through NASA. Like, that's a fact. Let me see. Six Sense said, you asked the question, brother. Ask the question again so we all can know it.
I said, if women are better at making money, why do they make less on average?
Because men pay them less.
Okay.
You thought?
Because sexism.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
I don't believe that's true, but okay.
I mean, whether you believe it or not is irrelevant. Is it true? Yeah, it's true.
I think that men think that statistics is like a god. You know what I'm saying?
They
like,
think you could pick and choose. Yeah.
Like, you gotta believe the statistics for it's real. You know what I'm saying?
I don't believe my cholesterol is really that high. Like, nigga, what?
I don't believe gender inequality exists because women have jobs. However, and I tell this story all the time, public done heard this story. Me and a coworker, I have 11 years of experience. He has 5. He has a penis. He makes more than me doing the same job.
Does he have more experience than you?
No. Did you just hear what she said? Y'all don't listen.
I never heard.
Johnny had 5.
She just said 11 and 5.
I have 11 years of experience. He has 5. We do the same job. He makes 5K more than me.
Can I ask, what do you do?
I'm a nurse.
Maybe he's just better than you.
Oh my fucking God. I know this.
I've been in top 5 since I done got 4 raises and 3 bonuses since I've been in this company for 2 years, going on my 3rd year. So don't ever play in my face, baby. I'm the best there ever was to do it. And if you ever read his documentation, baby, he ain't hitting no shit when it comes to Taylor.
I believe that. Yeah, that's weird. If you think people are just getting paid based on their merit, so once again, I always got to ask the question: then why are black people paid less than everybody else? And we are. Before you say, are we? We are. Even in Canada, they are.
I know successful black people. So
see, Bree, see that pivot? See, that's not what we were talking about. I didn't say, are there any black people? I said,
they just do it so easy.
It's effortless. Let me just gaslight. Let me just lie. Let me just deflect. Let me just like, brother.
Maybe I gotta do my research, but I don't know.
If pivoting on the patriarchal pole was an Olympic event,
gold medalist.
Be so like gold medalist, man.
That was crazy, bro. So yeah, why are black people? Why would you? All right, so let's assume that black people are paid less than women, because they are the same way women are paid less than men, or black people are paid less than everybody else. Why do you think women are paid less based on merit, right? Like they're just not as good as the jobs, and they're not trying to get into these fields, whatever. What would be, so you believe that also about black people? Let's say it were true and you understood that it was true and everything. Would that be the same explanation for black people?
No, I never really looked up on the black people.
Listen to what I'm saying for this conversation, for the sake of this conversation. Let's assume that what I'm saying is true. Right? What could you theorize would be the reason behind black people making less money than everybody else, is my question.
Maybe just racism.
Interesting. Okay. Racism is real, but sexism isn't, right?
I never said that. It's definitely real.
Well, how do you think sexism shows up, if not economically?
It could show up economically, but I just feel like if a woman works hard, she can get where a man's at.
So you're also not taking into effect. You're also, oh Jesus, you're also not taking into consideration motherhood penalty. Like women typically suffer financially because of having kids. Like
just make the
Like there's a lot of societal biases that come into play when it comes to the workplace. Like there's what we call the fatherhood premium, which was mentioned in the book that I read called Financial Feminist, where men are more likely to get raises and promotions because of this perception that, oh, he's a provider in the family. He's a provider and he has a family now. So he's gonna need extra money. He's gonna need that extra money to provide. I don't think that's true. Look at this. Look at honestly speaking. But I'm telling you, this is from a financial book.
Yeah, why do you keep saying stuff is not? You don't believe stuff is true.
In my opinion, from what I see, women are doing.
You don't need an opinion when I'm telling you stuff based on what's going on in the workplace.
Book is made in the 1800s, though.
What?
The book was literally
Sir, you just used the pull yourself up by your bootstraps argument. I really think you should just hush.
That's crazy.
Pull yourself up by your own bootstraps in 2024. Sorry.
I wasn't even done talking while you down there interrupting me. Don't do it again. Like I said, you're not taking into fact societal issues and societal biases that come into play in the workplace. You would know this, but clearly you don't. So why are you coming up here making assumptions about stuff when you don't know what you're talking about?
Because like you're saying your book, and like from what I see,
you can look this up. You can look this up online.
Okay,
you can easily look it up online too. I'm just saying it's also talked about in this book because the book also discussed systemic issues on why women get paid less. It's not just about personal finance. She also went into systemic and societal issues that play into why women get paid less. Hence the patriarchy. That's what she mentioned in the book. It's not like none of what she's saying is wrong. So I don't know what you're trying to refute.
It could. I was just saying the book could be a little outdated.
How is it outdated when this stuff is going on right now in 2024? And the book literally just came out last year. Like, what are you talking about?
Shawnee, do remember that comprehension is also part of literacy. So, you know.
You know what, Vanity? You're right.
I know. I'm telling you, like, pussy requires a poll tax. Because...
This is wild.
Some G's just have to, you know.
I'm just saying, I see a lot of successful women out here making more money than men. I don't know.
So because you keep using that argument.
Wait. It's from my point of view, it seems like an even playing field.
Yeah, the same way from your point of view, it seems like an even playing field between black people and everybody else, right?
Never said that.
Okay, exactly. I'm not understanding. Like, what the fuck is going on? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, except for you like being able to use racism, right? Because you're black. So you're not a millionaire. You're not where you want to be. You get to say, oh, they just holding a black man down, right? So you got it. So you get to use that one. But you don't get to use the patriarchy. You don't get to use sexism. So that one you don't see. You Stevie Wonder to the bullshit, right? That's what I'm saying. It's so weird. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I want to ask you guys, so what's the reasoning? What do you get from your book? Why do you guys get paid less?
I literally just mentioned women suffer from a motherhood penalty. Like, do you not know what biases are and how they show up in the workplace, even during hiring, when they're hiring people? Like, I'm not sure, like, what's not clicking. I literally just explained that not too long ago.
Maybe Canada and America is a little different.
It's not. In this,
how do you know?
Because
Humanity's in Canada.
Don't lie on that country.
You know how I know? Because
Vanity, what do you do?
Every country in the Western Hemisphere.
Not her damn business.
Next thing.
What if she's?
Am I not talking right now? Did I miss something? Every country in the Western Hemisphere, because of American policies, functions similarly. I don't know if you know that, but America has her hand in Canada, has her hand in Mexico, and so on and so forth, all the way down to
the whole Western world. Yeah, we know.
The whole Western Hemisphere, right? So yeah, that's how I know.
Yo, Vanity, what do you do? Can I ask, please?
Go on in. You can ask. I might not answer.
All right, I feel like I'm gonna prove a point here, but you know.
Okay, so what do you do? I guess what do you do? Where are we going?
I work in construction.
Okay. So, of course, a woman, this is why y'all don't see the disparity. Of course, a woman who is a CEO of a Fortune 500 company is going to make more than a man at McDonald's. Duh, right? However, when we're talking about people who have the qualifications, the education, and experience, there is no reason why a woman in that case shouldn't make the same as or more than their male counterpart. What aren't you understanding about that?
Hey! I said you guys could be correct. Maybe I have to do my research.
You're not about to research it.
I'm gonna do it.
No, you're not. Because why wouldn't you have done it already? Why you be in these spaces every day, right? And you never thought to yourself, I should look up some of this stuff before I come in these spaces.
Why I'm about to tell you why. Because as I said before, from what I see, it's an even playing field. But
you don't think that's convenient?
I don't think it's convenient. I'm walking around every day. I'm seeing it.
You work construction?
Yes.
How many women work construction with you?
0, because they suck at it.
No.
Oh my God.
See what I'm saying?
There's a big hole in the stop sign that turns it from stop to slow.
Oh God. That was funny.
Sorry, what was I being asked? I got sidetracked by somebody who said the thing. Was I being asked?
Didn't want to answer my question.
Okay.
Bonji baby said, counterpart is giving bro the hardest time.
But you want to know what's hilarious to me is that I can almost 100% agree. I mean, not agree, but bet that if I was able to pull like record of what lives he's been on, I know he's probably been on other lives saying how men are superior.
Come on.
Like those. I'm almost done. Like that lives that they be saying, oh well, do women need men? And he'd be up there telling some yes because he built infrastructure and we've done this, we've done that. He sounds exactly like one of them. I hate that they change their talking points depending on the topic. It's never cohesive though, never, or coherent.
Okay.
That's just like the guy who was painting tires trying to school us on we just ain't working hard enough because he paint tires. You could never 6 since 95. You could never, sir.
I could never what?
She's talking about the guy who was painting tires.
No, I said 6 since 95. You could never.
Oh, my bad.
Could never. Whatever your imagination think, could never.
That was hilarious.
Why ain't you laughing, man? That shit was fun. I know it was at your expense. But
I don't see no one laughing in the comments either.
What? It's delayed because it's a delay. I don't know if you know that, but they cackling. You was waiting on other people to laugh? That's crazy. I'll be laughing. I'll be cackling on my own. I don't care who be laughing.
Of course you laugh. You get paid to laugh, right?
No, dummy.
Yeah, you do.
Do I?
Every super chat, you get paid to laugh.
No, I get paid to read it.
You know some of those aren't funny, but you be laughing.
Some of them are funny. Yeah, I don't laugh at the ones that aren't funny to me. I laugh at the ones that are funny. Like you didn't laugh at Kay's joke, but Kay's joke was extremely funny. The only reason why you didn't laugh, the only reason why you didn't laugh is because it was at your expense, right? And the reason why you think that the people's jokes that I be reading aren't funny is because they don't align with your worldview. See, but if you thought differently, then you would get the jokes and they would be funny. Also, there might be a educational barrier there, but yeah, that's the long and the short of it. Yeah, man. So are we good? So what do you think about, we're gonna get back to the prompt real quick. What do you think about the prompt, brother? Do you think that men should stay at home? What are you feeling like? You feel like it's a good idea?
Do we switch roles, are you saying?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
No? Why not?
What the hell? I feel like women are just better suited at staying home. But I'm not saying that
they should stay home. If they want to work, they can work. But I feel like they're better suited at it for sure.
But I agree, they are better. They are better at staying at home, but they're also better at making money too. So
I don't think so. I think it depends on the job.
No, it doesn't depend on the job because you guys wouldn't have the same job.
Let me say something. Can I say something? Let's think of one of the most important jobs.
No.
No. What do you mean no?
You're not. This is what I'm saying. Your logic, it doesn't exist. 6, you work construction. Do you have a degree?
I don't.
Okay.
I'm actually a changed criminal, actually.
Okay, that's fine. And I
we're on an equal playing field?
I congratulate you on that.
Y'all are on equal playing fields.
Okay. So I congratulate you on that. Okay. So you are a reformed criminal, and I respect that. You're on the straight and narrow. I do. I really do respect that. And you work construction. Fine. You don't have a degree. Fine. Is your girl also a reformed criminal?
No.
Okay. Does she have an education? Is she trying to get an education?
Yes.
If she gets an education, will she or will she not make more money than you more than likely at some point in time?
Depend. Yeah, I think that depends.
Generally speaking, will she make more money than you if you had to guess?
Maybe. Good chance.
I think almost 100% chance she's going to make more money than you at some, if she gets her education and you don't.
Not really, because my boss is a college dropout and he makes a lot of money.
I'm not see. You always like to point to the outliers, but more than likely, so you would have to be your boss. That's the thing, and I don't know if you will ever get to being your boss, but you may.
How do you know that? You don't know me.
I just said I don't think you will, because there's only one, right? There can only be one Highlander, right? So what I'm saying is, odds are your girl is going to at some point in time make more money than you if she finishes with.
I feel like we'll be around the same level.
Probably not. Also.
Why do you say that? You don't know what I do. You don't know.
You just told me what you do. You work construction.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things in construction, right?
All right, man. It's crazy. But anyways, so yeah, so women, I got you, bro. I got you. But women, because of their aptitude, right? As it pertains to getting an education is concerned, as it pertains to getting an education, and your girl in this example specifically, she doesn't have a criminal background. I highly doubt that a reformed felon criminal working construction is going to make more money working construction than a college graduate. I'm just being honest with you, right? Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to make good money. That doesn't mean you're not making good money now. Doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying? It's not to negate anything. I'm just speaking logically. That's how the system works, right? So your woman she is probably financially in a better position. Also, she can work her job longer than you can work yours, more than likely, because construction is also physically taxing. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. More than likely, her job will not be physically demanding, right? So once again, she can work longer than you. She can make more money than you. Probably better benefits, all that stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm way, way, way ahead of her. She has a lot of catching up to do, right?
Yeah, I guess. But I think with an education, she'll catch up. My wife caught up with me in like 3.
Yeah, but you were a car salesman.
In like 3 years. So what?
In a few years, I'm gonna be making more than a car salesman. I promise you that.
You probably make more money than the average car salesman right now, but that doesn't mean you were making more money than me. I think that's what you're missing. See what I'm saying? So, so my wife, though, yeah, it took her like 2-3 years out of college. She was making more money than me, or yeah, after she got her master's and she started working. See what I'm saying? So that's what an education would do. Like, it doesn't take her that long to catch up. Once they get the education, it doesn't take them that long. That's how the educations work. That's what I'm saying. They ascend quicker than you. And how long have you been working? Multiple years. She'll probably catch up to you in a couple of years. You know what I mean? Like, it'll just, and that's all I'm saying. It's like, so your girl is in a better position to make money for you guys financially. She could work her job. I'm saying once she graduates, she can work her job longer than you. I think you should stay at home. That's what I'm saying.
But the way you're talking is like you're assuming how much money I make. You like what like who's to say I'm not gonna start my own business in the future?
She could too.
You don't think it'll be easier to wash dishes than to hold the sign in that heat? I'm just listen. It's hot. It be hot out there in the summer, and it be cold in the winter. And if I had to guess, it is less labor intensive to load the dishwasher than to hold that sign.
That's all I'm
saying. It's hard work to be a single mother or a stay-at-home mom.
It is.
It is.
No, it's not.
Then why don't you stay at home?
Because I'd rather go out and do the hard work.
No, you wouldn't. You're a criminal.
I was.
You're not gonna convince me a criminal wants to go out and work, do the hard labor. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's we're done with that now.
Okay.
We're moving on now.
Okay, so what's your salary range? Entertain us.
Mine's?
Yeah.
I don't be wanting to talk about people money.
No.
You got, if you want to answer, you got it. I'm gonna let y'all have it. You got it. Go on and have a conversation.
What's your range? Just give us a window. You don't have to tell us exactly what's the window.
I'm like at 30 right now.
You said what?
30.
I'm at 30 right now.
30,000 a year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. No, is that in Canada?
Yeah, it's Canadian dollars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
That's.
How much is that in Canada money?
Hey, remember, I'm just starting, and I'm just, hey, before Vanity comes to insert herself real quick, I'm not that old. I just started, so calm down.
I think she's saying you don't make that much.
$30K in Canada money. I don't know what that means.
She thinks I'm lying. Hold on, does she think I'm lying?
I think it's like $45,000, right?
No, because you started getting real defensive and itchy all of a sudden, like I was going to reveal your secrets. What I'm saying is that in Canada is not a lot. When you start talking
I never said that was a lot.
Hush your mouth, man. Hush your mouth.
You cut me off, lady.
Is when you sit here and you're talking about what goes on in Canada, when you're talking, we're like, $1 million is where middle class starts.
Pardon me, $1 million a year is what you said?
Is where middle class begins.
So in Canada? $1 million Canadian dollars or $1 million American dollars?
Yeah.
So what's that? Hold on. Wait. And so what's that in American dollars, Vanity? What's the trend? Just roughly.
She's a liar, bro.
$1 US is about like 135 or so. Like.
So it's like 30%. Okay. So it's like okay. All right.
Can I please ask a question real quick? Let me ask a question real quick. Did you say it's $1 million per year to live average?
No, it's not what she said.
I was trying to clarify. So what did you say?
Middle class starts, brother. Middle class. Because there's not a middle. See, this is how I know America and Canada are very similar. Because there's no middle class in America either. Because $1 million is fucking middle class. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's fucking nuts.
If you make about 200,000 per year, you can live decently in Canada.
Nobody's saying you can't.
Yeah.
Nobody's denying that.
But here's the thing. It's you who came up here trying to figuratively crap on women, saying that there's no disparity, et cetera, all for you to get up here talking about you only make 30K, and it's women in this chat that I know for a fact, make 6 figures or better.
Let me say this.
And you really try to dump on us?
Hey, remember, you know what was crazy? You said just 2 minutes ago, I just want to let you know something, not to shit on you, but you did also made that implication to me too. You were like, oh, but you were a car salesman. I made way more than you.
Okay, but
I started selling cars when I was 31.
Okay, I'm 28 right now.
Yeah. So I started selling. How long have you been? Hold on, wait. How long you been in construction?
I've been doing it since like 2018-ish.
So 6 years. Okay. So in six years, in my 6 years selling cars, I was making my first year selling cars, I was making more than you, but not that much more. But like my 6 years selling cars, I was making way more than you.
Hey.
I'm just saying, since we talk, you want to talk that shit.
Listen. I was a fentanyl god. Let's just leave it at that.
Because you was lazy.
I was lazy. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, you was lazy. So you took the fast.
I made that.
So you took the fast route.
I made that my freshman year in college. Let's be for real.
Yo, you guys are forgetting. Yo, I'm not like I started this late. I just started. I used to be a criminal. I changed my life.
Yeah.
Chill out. Give me some time.
I think we would be.
So the next time.
I think we would.
So the next time you try to crap on people.
Yeah.
I didn't crap on nobody.
You did.
You did.
You did.
Who did I crap on?
You crapped on women. And you tried to crap on me.
Wait, when did I crap on women?
When you. What? Your whole approach. When I
basically tried to say that women don't make a lot of money because we don't work hard enough.
No, you guys said women are better at making.
You said that when you first came up here.
Okay, let me clarify. Let me clarify.
Let you backtrack. Go ahead.
Listen, you said women are better at making money.
They are.
So I said, if that's true, why on average men make more?
And we explained it. Mm-hmm.
So they're not better at making money.
They are better at making money.
You listen, I know a lot of girls that open their own business. They do lash shit. They do hair shit.
Hey, is your girl in college?
Yes, she is. University.
She gonna make more money than you. 1,000%. She gonna. I don't care what her job is. Bro, she gonna make more money than you.
I feel like we're gonna be on the same spot.
1,000% chance. You've been doing this for 6 years. You make $30,000. In her 6th year, she is going to be making more than you're making in your whatever year you're in. I guarantee you.
Bro, I'm on the path. I'm gonna get my own jobs. We're gonna start doing our own business shit. It's gonna be better.
You see what how your approach is. There's no, like, when you have a degree, there's less of like variables involved. That's what I'm saying. Yours sounds like a dream right now. It's like, yeah, man, and I'm gonna start my.
It's not a dream though, because
it is. Have you done it yet?
They said it was a dream before I started.
No. But it is a dream right now. It is a dream. It's not a knock on you. It's not saying it. It is a dream. It hasn't happened yet. You're dreaming of doing it. You want to do it. It's a goal. Fuck it. It's a goal. It's a goal. It's a lofty goal at that. Right? Because running your own business is always highly risky. Very risky, right? So it's a lofty goal to think that you're going to run your own business successfully after. But you know what? That's where that Fenty God shit will come into play. Because if you were good at it, you might have some wits about you.
And guess what? That's why I'm way ahead of here, because I was a Fenty God.
Mm-hmm. You proud of that shit, huh? He proud of that shit. Hey, he proud of he proud of distributing a dangerous, deadly narcotic to people. He didn't learn anything in prison.
I didn't touch prison in my life.
And cook noodles real good.
You didn't wait. Hold on. Wait. You was a Fenty guy. You didn't touch prison?
I caught my first charge and then I was good after that.
Oh, you snitched.
No, I didn't.
You told who you tell on? I hope them people ain't getting out soon. Who you tell on?
Yo, Vanity's from Canada. She could tell you over here we get slaps on the wrist for our first and second offense.
Oh, okay. All right. If you white tee, you get that over here too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They caught a boy graping a woman in an alley. That boy got a 5 years? No, he get no time. The judge said, I just don't see how sending him to prison is gonna help the community. I was like, wait. Brock. I was like, wait, but lock that boy up. Like, what are you talking about? Put that man in prison for 15, minimum 15 for that boy. He raped that girl in an alley in the middle of the night where everybody can see. Put that, he's a threat to everybody. His mama, everybody. Lock that man up, judge. You failed society. So now in America, that's the only, if you white tee, they'll let you off. I know a woman, I read about a woman though, she in America, she lied on her child's like enrollment shit and said that she lived at a certain address to get her kid into a better school, and they put her in prison for like 10 years.
They sure did.
But yo, that's why I say though, my girl has a lot of catching up to do, because thanks to the Fenty, unfortunately at the same time, but thanks to the Fenty, we just stacked up a lot of money.
But so anyway, Six, long story short, and what we're trying to tell you is be mindful. and more when you're talking about money. Because I know for a fact, even on this panel where you sit, you don't make more money than us, baby.
Nobody.
It's okay. And it's okay.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Stop trying to dump on women.
The average age in here is like 45.
No, it's what are you talking about? No, it's not.
What's the average age in here?
Nigga, I'm 35.
I was gonna say average age. I don't know.
I see a lot of 4-year-olds in here.
It's 2 40-year-olds in here. But wait, let me read this super chat. I got some super chats to read. Manji Baby said, we are better suited, quote unquote, or y'all just don't want to stay home and find out shit stinks and that maintaining a home is actually hard work. I'm going with the second answer. I'm going with the second answer. How'd you get in here? How you unlock the door? Come here, fool. What you how you unlock?
I knew that was Jackson. Diabolical.
This boy just unlocked the door. The door was unlocked. He busted in here like Kramer. What's up, baby? I thought you unlocked the door, baby boy. How you unlock the door, my friend? How you do that?
Jackson said, where my rights at? He's so cute.
I missed you, Squishy Belly.
Here, I want to be involved.
I missed you, Squishy Belly.
You ain't had no deadbolt on that public. What you thought he did?
Nah, he ain't supposed to be able to unlock doors with no key. Where'd you get the key from? Was it locked still? Maybe mommy didn't unlock it or locked it up. Why are you always trying to take my watch off? All right, you got chickmunk cheeks. All right. Damn, man, that baby is funny as hell.
Special Agent Jackson.
I love Jax, man. That boy he just funny.
Yo, everybody in here is saying I had this at this age, I had this at this age. Guess what? I still have more cash than you.
Yeah, because you was a criminal. Brother, bragging about being a criminal don't mean nothing. You was a criminal now.
Listen, you guys can brag about all the money you were making.
You can't brag about being a criminal. You're missing the point. Hold on, 6. You're missing the point. If we were criminals, we would have more cash than you, right? You were a criminal. And you had more cash than some people in here. Probably not everybody, but maybe some people in here, right? Now you're not a criminal and you're in the real world. Welcome to the real world, like Paramore said, and you broke. And we not. Ain't no woe to it, nigga. You broke.
Why are you talking as if I lost all my cash?
I mean, are you gonna talk online? You just openly saying you didn't lose all your cash online? You gonna tell the Canadian police that?
Listen. I went. Listen.
Right? Like they're too stupid to crime, right?
Like, are you serious?
But, they do that all the time, and they get picked up all the time. Because
listen, I don't care what Vanity has to say. She's never been in a courtroom in her life. I did my time. I did my community service hours. I went through the court process, and I'm a free man now.
I believe you, but let me read this super chat. Bonji Baby said, "Free that lady from Luke Sasswalker."
I was gonna say, free her, and you better not impregnate that girl.
Oh, he gonna trap her. He hate that lady. Osa said $2 on K. She acting up. Bonji Baby said he did all that talking down on his lady for a whopping 30 racks. Pull the lever, Crump. Mama Allie said, can you tell 6 to go spit out all that spit in his mouth or go run down to Target and get a damn tongue scraper?
Yeah, I'm eating food. Leave me alone.
I'm disgusted. Thick ass spit. Ugh. Osa said 30,000. Why does he have a girlfriend? She don't want to be with him. He must have trapped her.
You know why I have a girlfriend? Because as I said,
he got cash.
I have more cash than you.
He got cash. So she a gold digger. That's what's up.
She's not a gold digger.
Then what you talking about cash for then?
No, I'm talking because you guys are talking about, at that age I was making this much. I was making this much. You can't go back.
At that age, I wasn't a criminal. That's all I care. I don't care how much money you got. At that age, I wasn't a criminal. I know that. I know I was out here legally getting to it.
This is the past. I told you I've been working for like how long now?
I got you. Hey, my daddy moved a lot of weight, a lot of work. I used to see it come through the house.
So you should know.
I could have easily, I ain't gonna, because we online, but yeah, I could have easily been on that type of time. But I wasn't though. I'm glad I didn't fall into that trap. Miss Not For Everybody said, notice how he's with a woman who is not a past criminal, but he is though. She's college educated, but women want men out of their league. You males lie. Clock it.
I'm special.
Oh man, special needs. GV based on attraction said, if he's got all this cash, why don't he start his business now? Why wait? Maybe he's trying to get why don't you start your business now? You got all this cash.
Anybody that knows, that's common sense, bro.
You got to get the education.
Let me take the work money and put it. Come on, you put 2 and 2 together, bro.
Oh, he's saying he can't wash it because you would have to wash the money. You can't wash it with the. Usually, you wash the money with the business, but what do I know? Ain't like I'll do.
But you can start a business based on attraction.
Today is too much. I'm hungry as shit, man. Hey, there, yeah. This how I know you snitch, because you just giving us information that we ain't even asked.
I never said anything incriminating.
You did. You said you still got illegal money and you be spending it. Nigga, that's incriminating.
You just ratted.
How did I just... Now you... This motherfucker a gaslighter. He just said that shit right now. What are you talking about? You said it. I didn't say it. Huh?
All my money is hard earned legally.
Oh, okay. Cool. Fenty God.
I trust Marty Bird over this joker any day.
Was Marty Bird?
Marty Bird for president, period.
Oh, man. This is wicked. Wicked work, man. All right. I'm calling it. 3 hours and 16 minutes. I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. 3 hours and 16 minutes, man. We did it. We did it, Joe. I am too hungry. I'm too hot. I'm too tired. Y'all wore me out. Marty Bird from Ozark. So at the end of the day, I guess, man, we got to go back to the drawing board, fellas. On some real for real shit. We gotta go back to the drawing board, man. We trash it getting paid, and we trash it at raising these babies. We trash in the bedroom. That's supposed to be where we hang our hat on. Knocking boots. Decompression live later on in the Discord based on attraction. BOA. Busters. BOA custers. We don't got as many degrees. Y'all don't want to read as much. Y'all don't want to read. Yeah, man. Go on and free them ladies, man. Let them make that money. Let the ladies get to the shmoney. Let the ladies get to the shmoney. Yasmin, I appreciate you. Free that woman till she free, by the way. She deserves better. If you ever see her out, tell 6'9" girl tell 6 cents girl she deserves better. If you ever see her out. That's wild. You better not impregnate that woman, man. You better not. Get a vasectomy right now. Don't do that to her. You better not put a baby in her. Even if she leaves, look at what he says. Are you sure you 28? Or are you 18? Or are you 8? I have a starting 5. You don't love that girl for real. Hey, somebody make sure this get back to 6 cents girl, man. Screenshot that shit. Try to find her on the ticky tack if you can. Make sure she see this. Because the shit y'all be saying on here, dangerous. You was doing too much of that Fenty, God. Crody? Yeah? Your brain's fried from the Fenty, yeah? JP said he lying anyway. Oh, man. Are you not entertained? That was a funny. I like that live. That was a good live, man. We bumped some heads. I like arguing with y'all. See, y'all smarter. I like arguing with my audience because y'all smarter. It'd be hard. Arguing with people like 6 all day, that shit, it's boring. I can't, you know what I'm saying? It only turn up every now and again. I was arguing with y'all today. It felt good. It felt like it was a challenge. It felt like a challenge. I was like, oh yeah, this is good. I like that. Points were made. Y'all made hella points. Y'all basically at the end of the day, y'all convinced me men don't belong nowhere around women or children. At the hey, man, we was in here going at it over the prompt, man. We was going at it over the prompt early. We kept it demure, so we we love each other, so it don't be no hate or nothing like that. We were just going back and forth. I seen a lot of eye rolls and stuff like that when I was talking to shit. I loved it. I love it. I love that shit. That shit feel good. That shit felt good. It felt good. It felt like family. Yeah, I started at we in our third hour, so I started at 1:30. 1:30, y'all. Yeah, it's over, man. It's 5 o'clock, man. I can't do it. The likes was low. The likes was low. The likes was low, Lux. The likes was low. The cash apps was low too. They wasn't supporting the live. TikTok was YouTube was holding me down per the usual, but y'all didn't really fuck with me for real. Y'all wasn't entertained on TikTok, I guess. They wasn't even trying to look out for you, boy. It's all good though. Come back for the late live. It will not be a late live, brats. I promise you that. I promise you that. Appreciate everybody that did bang the Cash App though. Shout out to everybody that hit the super chats too, man. Y'all know what it is. Love One, Anthony, Osa, Venus, Ariel. Ariel, am I saying your name right? I feel like I am. Let me know. I don't want to be mispronouncing stuff. If you can spell it out phonetically, that'd be great. Shavana, GV based on attraction, Gabby, Erica, Bonji, Raven, Ali, It's Not For Everyone, Yasmin, appreciate y'all. Don't be triangulating. Oh, man, definitely triangulating y'all, man. Yeah. Give us some controversy. Ain't no controversy, man. We just had a nice discussion. Haters come back tomorrow. American Goddess, come back tomorrow. Rules are the rules, man. They paid to drop. They paid to drop you. All right. We out.